Phobits. Phobertine. Currently.
See, you guys can't hear me just now.
Currently phobing. The tag on your account is really funny. No, I can't hear you, man. Are you the author of To Hear Your Voice because you're deviant, or are you the deviant because you're the author of To Hear Your Voice?
Surely for Valentine's we should read a ship fic,
That's
right? Right.
Oh, it is Valentine's, in it. Ugh. No, that's 14th. Yeah. Alas, no, it's Valentine's.
We hear noises like no words are
Noises.
being
Yep.
made. Yeah.
He's making like goose noises.
It's like talking to a robot that only speaks beeps.
Yeah. Huh?
Sorry. It's also musical notes.
Yeah, it does. Are you actually just playing a saxophone, Phoebe?
Nah, yeah, we just can't hear you, Phoebe.
It's like video game, like sprite language. It's kind of funny that Phoebe's here for me finishing part 1 of Artificial Freedom. No, they're gonna stay. Even if you get spoiled, I don't care. It's been like 6 months since I started it. If you wanted to read it, you would have by now. So, and, like, mild accusatory. It's fine. I totally get it. But like, I think you'd really like it. You're the only other cyberpunk crossover writer in the fandom.
Today's all continuations.
Oh, I think it's kind of fun that he based his cyberpunk fanfic on watching the anime first instead of playing the game first, which it's different. Like it's the same setting, but like the vibes are different, which is kind of fun.
Yes.
We almost heard a word. Wow.
Yeah, it's a little clearer.
Hear me?
Yes, we
Oh,
hear
there we
you.
go.
For frick's sake, I'm trying to be family friendly now. Hello, everyone.
Oh, thank you.
For frack's sake.
For frack's sake, yeah, for frack's sake.
How do you feel about that, frack?
Ugh.
Everything being done to your face.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The Iron Hand is not using a crow profile picture? Is this truly the Iron Hand that we all know and love? Or is this an imposter?
Imposter, you say?
It's truly I. The crow shall return in time, but Samantha gets a turn. Yes.
Wait, can we see the original photo? Post it in the chat. Post it in the chat. Come on.
What? Sorry? You like cut out.
The original
Oh,
photo.
no, but I want to hear the original photo. I want to see the original photo.
Yeah, let me transcribe that really quick.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. I want to see your photo.
Maybe you could
Also,
change it for next time.
we have a
Like,
list of like fics
to
now
this fellow.
to read for today. Okay, what's your list?
It's all continuation
Okay.
fics right now. Yeah.
By original photo, I don't mean your face, Iron Hand. I mean your fan art.
Oh,
I meant your fan art,
yeah,
Iron Hand.
even my original PFP, and that's not it. I was just like, maybe I could do this one instead. Yeah.
It's a pretty fire
Um,
photo, I can't lie. That's pretty fire. True, true.
I dressed up for
A
the
very
occasion.
handsome individual.
That's how I look going to the writers' convention.
Oh, true, true.
Yes, I'm finding it. Oh, actually, so there was a booth. A doctorate student is doing her thesis on fandom culture. And
Oh.
so she like was like basically it was like fandom therapy. Like basically you just go and talk to her about whatever you were currently interested in and how like being in a
Therapy.
fandom like affects your life kind of a thing. And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I just told her about like the fandoms I was in right now and like you guys and like my fic and stuff. And anyway, it was fun. Yeah, it
Was the doctor
was
still like,
cool.
you need to get out now, you need medical help?
Oh, she didn't judge. It was cool.
No, I imagine. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of like I think that was kind of the point. Just be like, how do people in fandoms talk about their fandoms in a judgment-free space, kind of a thing. And here's the art. It's just how much they show it or not.
Who's this character supposed to be?
It's Samantha. She is an amalgamation of Neri's body possessed by Neuro's mind. And
Oh, that's sick.
because she is an AI, like it's kind of they don't know exactly why she's like this, but her when she's in Neri's body, Neri's eyes glow blue in the cyberpunk possessed by a crazy evil AI way, which as far as we know, Neuro is not. But it is still the case. So she has to wear this visor to keep. No, it's like it's no, it's lore. There are characters with blue eyes that are possessed by ultra powerful AIs. Um, and like and it's kind of a spoiler for me to like elaborate, but
Don't elaborate.
yeah.
And no, keep doing it. Elaborate right now.
I don't think it's in Edge Runners, but I haven't actually seen all of Edge Runners, so it
You've
might
seen
be.
Edge Runners? Oh, you should.
I watched the first 4 episodes and I really enjoyed it, and unfortunately I knew exactly where it was going because I just generally had gotten spoiled. Um, and so I was like,
Oh
I don't
man.
do this, man. I do not like that kind of a thing because like it's really good, but man, it's also like one of the most violent things I've ever seen. So anyway, here's an example from the game of someone like that. It's like
Spoilers for the game. I haven't reached that part yet.
it's like you really have to go out of your way to find this guy. He's not in the main
Oh, never
quest.
mind then.
Yeah.
No.
So, and also you like me just showing you who he is doesn't tell you anything about him. So, anyway, and that's why Vettel thinks it's a superstition because anybody can get like ocular like augments to make your eyes glow blue for fun, right? So he doesn't put a ton of stock in it because he hasn't actually met anybody like it, but he can't like stop Samantha's eyes from doing that. So that's why they put the visor on her so that nobody can like see it. Anyway, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I should read Cyberpunk these days.
You
You should. It's good.
From the streams.
I'm actually in the middle of playing Cyberpunk right now, and I recently just met Nira's husband, and I met
Oh,
this.
wait, is he like a main character? Like maybe recently.
Wait. Who?
Johnny Silverhand.
Nira's husband,
Oh,
you know,
Johnny.
is Nira's baby, Johnny, baby.
That's so funny.
She she wishes. She wishes he was her husband.
It's so funny seeing Nero just like be so into into Keanu Reeves.
I don't blame her. Listen, I don't blame her. It's Keanu.
I mean, it's Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I can't blame her either.
So I guess I should get reading, but I
Yeah.
forgot that I was reading, and now I'm eating cereal. So if somebody else wants to go first, yeah.
I'll read one that read by someone else because then I can read and I can read the other one.
Sorry, you just stuffed my face before I head off to the
No.
conference at
Okay.
10.
Okay, Phoebe.
Yeah. Get on
The
it. Yeah.
entirety of Artificial Freedom. I actually wanted to read Forget Me Not Garden. The only
Oh,
issue
fun.
is I forgot to fucking fill in the form, so I'm
Oh
kind
no.
of cooked.
I mean, if you want to read that, you can do it right now. Yeah. Yeah.
True. You think this is a
Sure, sure.
bureaucracy? Like,
Yes, a little bit.
to be fair, this is the fandom with the most bureaucracy I've ever seen.
No, let me more.
Chapter one, but then afterwards, so technically, Kara did something for me, so now I kind of owe her this story, and I've been wanting to finish it anyways, so I want to read it. Chapter one has been read before. Okay.
Like during the contest.
Okay, let me just skim through chapter one again, real quick, just right now, just so I can get a brush up on the. How long is chapter one again? Hold on. Let me pull up. Oh my lord!
He's skimming it right now. Just remember.
Forget Me Not Garden
Where are you right
by
now?
Kara Shard.
Oh
Okay, hold
god.
on.
He just like Sally reads it the whole thing again.
12,000 words. Sweet heavens!
Oh good heavens!
Wait, but I thought the limit was 4,000. What?
For the first chapter. Yeah.
I'm so stupid. I'm not with it right now. Sorry. Dear Lord. Okay. Yes, I in fact was in that contest. Okay, I'm seeing. I'm consuming the words. Hold on.
Hi, cartoon.
Get into my eyes. Okay, got it.
Ingest.
Not.
I thought it always has been for the periodically, from time to time. Dude. It's all coming back to me now. The floodgates have been opened.
Luckily, that's what reading does.
Right.
You ever just think about writing, like, isn't it crazy that we humans make little marks on things and then those marks mean something? Anyway,
Not not like the marks itself, but I do think it's cool. Like you can like. Oh, for me, it's a little frustrating because like I have a vision of what I want to write, and then I write. I'm like, this is wrong.
oh no, yeah.
It's like there's really no one to blame
When,
but
when the
myself.
marks don't convey the correct message, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I am really good at visualization. So like I feel like if I practiced a lot, I could be a good artist, but I just haven't cultivated that skill at all. But I feel like I can see exactly how it's supposed to look in my brain. And it's so frustrating that I can't make it. Excuse me. I mean, I'm almost done with my cereal, so
Yeah. The only thing with the Iron Hand does need to go like after this.
Mm.
So
Mm.
as
You know, I have about an hour.
oh
Yeah.
okay, okay. So it's not like super dire.
It's not like 10 minutes, yeah. Are you calling Toby long?
Oh wow. I forgot just how good this shit was. Oh my god. Oh,
Mhm.
I just forgot how good this crap is. Yeah.
Hmm.
I should make a poll on what everybody's favorite form of Vettel is in the fix. Like, do you like him
Turtle.
as a raging alcoholic, as a student, as like a normal guy, as a turtle, that kind of a thing?
Okay, the first three could be the same person.
They could be, but
Those are not mutually exclusive.
Okay, I think
Corpo,
I can give it a start.
villain.
Purple villain. He's not really a villain.
Hi cartoon. I missed
Vettel.
you.
If you were a Vettel.
Is there? Yeah. Is there a
and then it
fic?
like and then it like and the answer like generates you a fic for that exact level that you are.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Like a little quiz and like generates like a fic. Like probably do something like a BuzzFeed quiz on the Scrappy. I'll show that for later. Is there a fic where Vettel is just like a villain, not like a beast or something, but just like a straight up like villain, like he's the corporate bad guy?
I've seen a few of those. They definitely exist.
Okay. What most?
Okay, I think I'm ready. Should I start or is someone going first?
I just finished my cereal, so I could read my purpose if that's okay. Actually, I need some water. Yep.
Oh God!
Hey, it's good enough. The execution is still worth it. Anyway, okay. Let's share a
Oh, I think
screen.
I guess I'm gonna depart then. If I'm gonna get
I mean,
manga spoiled.
if you want, I mean, I maybe it'll inspire you to like actually read it.
Oh,
Maybe,
Like,
maybe
how the hell do we end up
if,
here?
if it's
let me
interesting.
read the
Yeah,
first few lines of this. Hold on. I'll stay for 2 minutes, and then I'll decide.
and then you'll decide. Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, so the end of the no, the end of previous section, the big the oh, I thought I was.
Well, yeah, he is.
That's funny. Yeah, so in the last section, the guy we thought was like a bad guy was like he made this crazy plan to like get the Foxfires and Battle to like kill the person that had like supplanted him essentially. And now that they have successfully done so, because it's like, okay, well, why did you do that? And what are we gonna do now? And he like gets on like it does like a deep Japanese bow and tells Vettel, "Hey, I need your help specifically," and that's where we end it. So yeah, okay. Hirasane-san knows who you are. Vettel nodded, readjusting his adjourner coat. The long night was far from over. Seems that way. I thought I managed to destroy all personal records, but something must have slipped through. That's unexpected. Do you think he's going to try and blackmail you with it? Annie was dressed in her business best, somehow managing to look her usual confident self at 2 in the morning, but Vettel had to admit the occasion did demand it. After the battle had ended, Ibaraki had requested Annie's presence for a covert in-person meeting, and all parties had agreed, everything moving at remarkable speed. They didn't have much time before the other tiger clans picked up on Sakamura's death. Vettel replied carefully, "I'm not sure. Even if he means what he said, it's still possible." Despite her protests, Vettel had sent Samantha back to the Foxfire to rest, and although he felt vulnerable without her, such a long battle had tired Nary's body out, and she needed true sleep. Camilla spoke up on Annie's other side. "At this point, we both got guns to the others' heads. It's obvious they used a convenient excuse to get rid of Sakamura, but what the flip? Sorry. How did that happen? Okay. But we could just as easily sell them out to the other tigers to try and take some heat off." Then she looked behind Annie's back at Vettel. "Yeah, I was wondering about the full legal name thing. You somebody special or something?" Vettel rolled his eyes and sighed heavily. He didn't have time to spar with her right now. "Yeah, special. Heir to Omega Corp, actually. You never heard?" Despite his attempt at levity, he knew the risks in allowing Camilla to be present, but he had no right to avoid it. Not anymore. She left to laugh, pretended to consider it, then the bell to Onagashima's central elevator dinged. Before the door opened, Annie closed her eyes, taking a deep breath before opening them again. "Okay, you two, this is an important negotiation. Follow my lead, and please don't argue or potential allies can see." "Ah, well," Camilla grinned sharply. "Don't worry about us. You'd be surprised how well good acting can make somebody more agreeable." Vettel's lips tingled again, and he coughed, itching to step forward as the door opened. But he waited for Annie, who gave them both a narrow look. "I'm glad things went well. You'll have to give me the details later." They both looked askance at that, but then Annie set off, and they followed through the hallway leading to the Oni's command center on the top floor. The double doors opened at their approach, and the dingy interior of the hallway was replaced by a spotless boardroom, much like Annie's own, and 3 figures sat at the other end of the polished steel table that rested over the ground. Before they parted earlier that night, Ibaraki had mentioned something about needing to go to look more presentable with a new face, and Vettel found himself unsurprised to see the man had meant it literally. He sat at the head of a table, shining horns repaired, his mane of white hair still mildly bloodstained, but instead of the demonic mask from the battlefield, he now wore a lifelike human visage with a sculpted jaw, Japanese featured, and mildly glowing violet eyes under trimmed white brows. He stood at their approach, broad middle chest visible under a loose robe, and he gestured for them to sit. "Ah, Lady Foxfire and companions, welcome." But I recognized one of the other figures seated. Aqua looked much the same as before, hair tied up, looking tired, and more than a little put out by the fact that she was still blood and grease stained from the battle. But as Vettel sat nearby, her gaze didn't leave a laptop in front of her, typing and manipulating subscreens intently. Opposite her was a woman he didn't recognize, tall even when sitting, immaculately dressed in a white and blue kimono, with shiny black hair done up in traditional style around slim silver horns. But for all the initial elegant impressions her appearance gave, the woman seemed, dang it, seemed to be just as composed, just as much chrome as Ibaraki was. Half of her face had been replaced with a delicately structured augment that replaced her upper and lower jaws, and her slender hands were also made in polished, light-colored metal. She nodded to him, and Vettel nervously returned the gesture, her eyes gleaming ice blue, regarding him for a moment with a calm, knowing serenity. How much intel did the Oni have on him and Samantha? Hiraki sat after Annie did, lowering himself into a cross-legged position on simple, if comfortable cushions ranged for all of them. I know that a few of us have already met. Introductions wouldn't hurt. Kuchisaki, would you begin? The elegant woman nodded, then looked around the three foxfires, her gaze ending on Annie. I am Kuchisaki Onna, second in command of the Oni. It is genuinely a pleasure to see you again, shouted the foxfire. Her voice was low and deliberate, and Vettel almost did a double take watching her talk. Only just visible in her perfectly cracked and mechanical mouth were the shadowed shapes of four massive fangs that did nothing to impede her speech. Annie nodded back at her, and Aqua raced ahead. Hey, I'm Aqua. Sorry I tried to kill two of you, but I wasn't really water under the bridge and all that. Anyway, I have to keep tabs on how quiet we're managing to keep things around here. Oh, right. I'm running tech while Hannah's gone for some reason. You're doing great, Aqua. And Rocky responded with a smile. Then he looked expectantly between Camilla and Vettel, and the pink-haired girl replied first. If there was a way to lounge on a cushion seat, she was managing it. I'm Camilla Haidara, the first flame, though I'm sure you know that pretty well after sending a hitman after me. While the accusation was casual, it was still a challenge. She was going on the offensive. Though I'm sure you'd say it was on Sakamura's orders, right? And Rocky nodded. That is the truth, and you may believe it as you wish. Then Vettel realized it was his turn, and he sighed. Might as well try and keep up with momentum. Right, well, I'm Vettel. Tech support for the Foxfires, though it seems you know a bit more about me than that. Ibaraki nodded again. That we do, and we shall get to that. For now, I'll remind everyone that we have limited time. Sakamura's death will not long remain a secret, but we have managed to contain the details so far. His violet eyes rose to meet Annie squarely. The Tiger Claw's leadership is unaware of the Foxfire's involvement, and I intend for it to remain that way. Do I have a promise from you that our betrayal will not be leaked to our former allies? And he looked between Camilla and Vettel and met Ibaraki's gaze smoothly. You approached us with sincerity, and if you meant harm, you have had ample opportunity to do so already. She drew her hands forward and entwined her fingers delicately. We have no reason to aid the Tigers or Arasaka. As things stand, we'll keep your secret, Yarasane-san. And Coco still seems to have some faith in you, Camilla added, tilting her head slightly. We'll give this a shot. Now that all helps me understand why you went through such great lengths to deceive us as well as Sakamura, Annie began. But not the reasons. Why did you need to dispose of him in the first place? Aqua huffed and muttered, her mismatched eyes not leaving her screen. He was crimping our style. He was in our way, Ibaraki overrode. Vettel heard a low chuckle from Kuchisaki. We'd intended to seek the aid of the Foxfires earlier, but Sakamura's self-appointment put an end to that. He spread his hands, a small grin spreading on his face. So you helped us put an end to him. All's well that ends well, am I right? Camilla whistled, leaning back on her hands, visibly relaxing. That is the most contrived plan I've ever seen. You're saying you've always wanted to be Chuns, then? In the last 6 months, Vettel thought, nodded to himself, as Ibaraki replied, almost exactly in line. Yes, but only recently has it become a priority. And he held a hand up, brows crinkling. An alliance sounds well and good, but even putting off the logistics of such a plan aside, why do you want our help? She shook her head, looking perplexed. Yes, we have some community and street credibility, but we're far from powerful or connected. So why, and why now? It was Kuchisaki who replied, tilting her head slightly, sending her silver earrings dangling. Generally, freedom. The Tiger Claws may mimic the aesthetic of an organization that values independence, but they are nothing more than the corporate organizations that crush us all under their grip. We want what you have, independence. Iraki continued, leaning forward, expression sobering, and more specifically, we need your technological prowess. And his eyes found Vettel, taking him aback with the sheer amount of resolve on the man's expression. Vettel Johnson, we know who you are, and that you are the only one who can help the Oni now. Vettel tense clenching, and he lowered his eyes. Aqua already knew about Samantha, and they'd obviously prepared for her involvement in the mission earlier. If it was as he'd feared, now it was down to what exactly they wanted from him, and more likely from Samantha. He spoke roughly. I'd better get some answers at least. You've not nearly explained enough to satisfy me. Wait, what's your biz with Vettel? Camilla interrupted defensively, eyes narrowing, and turned her gaze to Annie, then him. What do they know? Then, turning everyone's attention to her, Aqua stretched with a loud exclamation and slammed her laptop closed, standing, "Damn, Hiva, you're beating around the bush again!" Then she turned to the Foxfire, shoving the laptop under her arm, running her other hand through her hair with a yawn. "No need for drama. Come on, I'll just show you." Then she looked at Vettel, her dark iris shrinking to focus on him. "Do you want answers? Follow me." "Aqua, that's not..." Iraqi began, annoyance flickering on his features, but she overrode him again, waving her hand. "Look, boss, I know you're looking forward to showing everyone your little history presentation, but we don't have time for that right now. Besides, I already looked it over, and you chose the worst possible picture to introduce her with." "Her? Her who?" Annie asked, looking around in confusion, but Camilla was already getting to her feet, followed closely by Kuchisaki, to Vettel's surprise. The elegant woman spoke to the Oni leader, a smile on her words. "Iba-san, let Aqua show them. You know how close they were." Iraqi sighed and got to his own feet, his massive frame rumbling as he rose. "Well, all right, as long as she gets her other tasks done. Aqua, what about the terminus ice field?" "Clyde's got it," she shot back, and stood by the door with her hand on her hip. "What, you will come in or not?" Then, with 5 sets of eyes on him, Vettel finally stood up and looked at Aqua, stuffing his hands in his pockets and making his way over. "All right, do your worst." "What the hell's that supposed to mean?" Camilla asked, squinting at him, but Vettel didn't reply, just followed behind Annie, who gave him a concerned look. If he only knew half of what he suspected, Vettel's secret was about to get outed before he got a chance to reveal it himself. But he had no urge to fight it, just a dull ache of fear and suspense. At least Annie, who knew his situation, was here, but as for Camilla... For her part, Aqua seemed to take his comment in stride, leading them back to the hall and down a side stairwell. Why they were taking the stairs, Vettel could guess. Iraqi and Kuchisaki, who rode up the rear, were large enough to have made packing them all in the elevator's confined space interesting. "She was always interested in AI research," Aqua began. "When we were little, she saved up a few months just so that she could ride in the Delamain cab and talk to him. And not long after, she made Bonnie and Clyde, one of whom you've met already." Vettel nodded, keeping up. Delamain was one of the largest local AIs in Night City, an independent construct who ran a high-quality taxi service, and Clyde was the AI that had been protecting Aqua in the recent battle. But she wasn't quite as interested in building AI as she was in understanding them, especially the one she called aberrant. Reaching the bottom of the stairs first, Aqua waited and watched Vettel as he descended, letting Annie and Camilla pass her. You'd call them sentient or rogue, but to her it meant the same thing. Intelligences that had rejected or ascended their programming. Putting those categories in the same box is certainly a choice, Vettel murmured, and Aqua gave a short laugh. Yeah, well, she always had her own way of doing things. She led them down the hall, and Vettel noted they were likely in the Onogashima basement at this point. At the end of the hall, a heavy door was decorated with an entire stolen stop sign, and then underneath it, drawn in what looked like pink lipstick, was a small cartoon drawing of a wild-haired girl in a speech bubble that read, "Keep out! If your brain falls out, it's your own fault!" Aqua huffed, eyes narrowing. "It took me 3 months to get the stand door open, and there's still data I can't decrypt." She looked at Vettel and pushed the door open. "Maybe you and Samantha can take a second shot at it, yeah?" "Wait, how do you know Samantha?" Camilla asked, voice gaining an edge, but Vettel didn't stop, walking into the room, found a light switch, and flipped it on. Luckily, the lights were fairly dim, but his eyes went wide as the chaotic space before him was illuminated. An entire half of a room was a dweller pit, complete with banks of blinking hardware on top of the line runner chair. Nearby were stacks of flat-screen monitors of different sizes, all cobbled together to make an interesting pattern of flickering screens. Books and data charts littered the desks, along with hundreds of loose pages of drawn-out code and calculations. And as Vettel stepped up to one of the larger desks, his gaze was drawn to a rendered image of an AI core, tightly wound and dense with code. Then another set of lights flashed on, brighter, and Vettel saw the entire back wall was festooned with photos, documents, wild scribbles, and frantic notes, all tied together with lengths of string like a conspiracy theorist's lair. Among it, he saw more AI information, names and dates, fragments of code alongside renders of the black wall itself. And then to double take as a particular area made itself clear, all centered around an image that was frighteningly familiar. A picture of his old home in England, of him walking outside with the prototype robotic frames that he'd gotten made for Evil and Neuro. Press quickening. He strode over to that section of the wall, stepping onto a dusty step stool, and got a closer look. It was not just that one picture. There were pages of information about him and the twins, tracking theorized developments, a news clipping about his sudden disappearance, and then another, a Night City news article about a drone attack on a Night City subway car. An intake of breath, and he found Annie beside him. What is all this?" she breathed. At the bottom of this branch of strung together items was a final picture of Vettel and Samantha walking together in the Foxfire. Vettel, knuckles white with tension, turned back to look at Aqua, who'd sat back in a beanbag chair near the center of the room. "Quite a lot, right? She's admired your work for a long time. Revolutionary stuff," she shrugged. "At least that's what she told me." Then she seemed to realize something and held up both hands defensively. "Just being clear, she never sold you out. Arasaka came after you on their own." "Okay, I've been following along nicely up until now. But you gotta be straight with us now." Camilla, thankfully, was far from the details about evil, leaning against the railing separating the upper from lower sections, looking at the big picture. Who are we talking about here? It was Ibaraki who answered, standing straight, looking at the expansive information on the wall with a somber expression. My younger sister, Hanako Yanasane. Aqua activated a small projector on her wrist, and an image of a pretty young woman with wild purple-blue hair, straight pink horns, and mischievous violet eyes posing in a sharp-toothed selfie with both Aqua and Crowley. After a moment, Aqua spoke again, her tone solemn. She was my first friend in this hellhole of a city. Saved my life, and Crowley's too. For all the chaos she brought, she is beloved by all of us, Kuchisaki added, placing a slim hand on Ibaraki's upper arm. What happened to her? Camilla asked, voice carefully leveled. For his part, the Oni leader's eyes had narrowed, visibly tense, and his head lowered, as if unable to meet the digitally projected eyes of his sister. The railing creaked under his tightening fists. She was taken by the Arasaka Artificial Intelligence Program 6 months ago. Gretel nodded, turning back to the wall, trying to contain a wave of panic boiling in him. All this time, he thought he'd been covering their tracks. All this time, he thought they were secure at the Foxfire. And now Hanako was working with Arasaka. In the face of evil's absence, Aqua's reassurance was a cold comfort. What did she tell you about me? That you are in possession of a formidable intelligence technology, something that could undoubtedly prove useful to freeing her, Rocky replied, the continuation of deal-making seeming to calm him. We require potent infiltration and digital shrouding capabilities to achieve her freedom. They're not just technology, but almost spat the words, and he knew that he wasn't hiding their plurality anymore. But it felt useless at this point. They're my creations. I protect them. His eyes followed a string that led from some of the honest theories of what had happened to evil, ending at another section labeled Capture Expanse. But that'll turn back to Ibaraki, facing him fully. Helping us remove Sakamura isn't enough. I won't risk their lives just because you're asking me to, even if I understand what having someone take it from you is like. Camilla's gaze started back between the two of them, standing straight, tension growing in her own posture. Ibaraki nodded. I understand. That's why I have more to offer. With Hanako's help, she could help you free your own lost love. She's been involved in Arasaka's intelligence program for half a year now, Aqua stated matter-of-factly. If anyone knows their way around their systems, it's her. What was her name again? Ibaraki's violet eyes poured into Vedel's. Evelyn. I'm sure she's just as dear to you as the other, is she not? Wait. Camilla's face split in an incredulous grin, raising her hands with a frustrated energy. Vedel, what are they talking about? Who's Evelyn? Annie looked askance, demeanor failing, but Vettel didn't shrink. He was tired of backing down, hiding. He'd long known that outside he and Ellie's developments in the echo technology, any other attempt to free her would just be him and whatever he could muster slamming themselves against the unassailable wall of Arasaka, almost certainly to be crushed by their overwhelming might. But with a research like Hanako and the Oni on his side, Evelyn had been waiting for 2 years. It was time for him to take a few risks. A feeling of bittersweet pain twisted his mouth as he faced the first flame. He didn't know how she'd react, but either way, he'd enjoyed being closer to Camilla, for as long as it had lasted. She sent his twin. He spoke clearly and frankly, powering through the tracking exhaustion in Camilla's eyes. And the attack that almost killed Mary. Arasaka captured her. I've been trying to get her back ever since. Slowly, surprise spread over Camilla's face. Her indigo eyes widened, mouth opening slightly. Is she that similar person that you were doing the secret things for? Vedel's memory caught in the discussion earlier that night, and a faint hope left in him. Yes. For a moment, she seemed to understand. Then a harder, desperate realization ignited in her eyes, and she huffed an incredulous laugh, holding her arms over her chest, the dull lights flickering in the middle of her augment and armor. Okay, I see now. All this time, your sneaking around wasn't just dangerous to the Foxfire. It could have brought down the entire goddamn might of Arasaka on everything we've built. And she looked to Annie, the fearful accusation flaring in her eyes as she narrowed them at her friend and superior. And you knew this entire time. Annie closed her eyes with a sigh, and met her lieutenant's gaze evenly. Yes, I assessed the risks and found them manageable. Manageable? You mean he was prying the wiring of a rampant war machine, and you just hoped it wouldn't annihilate all of us? Camilla shook her head vehemently and gestured at the room around them, heedless of the Oni. And now you're driving us headfirst into an even deeper death trap? Annie's eyes narrowed at that, and she squared her shoulders. Arasaka almost killed my daughter, Camilla. I have always been prepared to resist them. The determination on her face made Camilla take a step back, her eyes went wide again. And they narrowed, and Vettel recognized the emotion in them now. Betrayal. Right. Camilla's mouth twisted, and her fists clenched. With a sudden motion and a shouted curse, she slammed the metal fist into the concrete wall of the basement, cratering it. Vettel flinched, and the sound cracked around the room. The three Oni onlookers shifted at the sudden outburst of violence. Right. Camilla repeated, softer, shaking her head, flexing her prosthetic fingers. I'll just get out of your way then. And without another word, she left the room, her rapid footsteps echoing after she left his view. Vettel's heart turned over in his chest, and he had to swallow to remove a knot from his throat. But as all times before, he only had one response. She was still right. A hand touched his shoulder, and he turned to find Annie, who was looking at him with a determined expression that didn't quite hide the conflict she was obviously feeling. Vettel, I'll talk to her. She'll understand. He wasn't sure if he believed her, but he had to nod anyway. It was the only answer he had in him right now. Taking a deep, shaking breath, he looked at Rocky, who'd watched the events without comment. The large man spoke, nodding his antlered head slightly. It was not my intention to seek conflict, but the path of clear communication is essential. His gaze moved from Annie to Vettel. Vettel Johnson, we cannot proceed without your aid. Are we in agreement then? Vettel nodded, eyes narrowing, pushing back every one of the doubts and fears that ripped and tore at him. All of this was for Evelyn and Samantha. He'd left things behind before. If it meant keeping them safe, he'd do it again. We are. Then he held out his damaged metal hand, and Ibaraki shook it with a firm hold. Good. We had come to an agreement. Kuchizaki was still watching the door that Camilla had disappeared through. Foxfire shot. Can you guarantee her loyalty, even in disagreement? I can, and his voice was strong. Camilla is deeply protective of the Foxfire and its people. She'll return. Vettel's gaze returned to the giant mess of string and paper on the far wall. Where the hell do we even start? His eyes were drawn this time to a single large caption in the center of the spider rectangle, a symbol, a black, half-risen sun, and a name? He read out loud, the unfamiliar word heavy on his tongue. Abed, he murmured. Nope, not starting, Aqua stated. She just threw her laptop, which was open on her lap. Time's up, people. The higher-ups are catching wind right now. You firefoxes have to hightail it out of here. If you're found, we won't be able to cover for you. I understand, and he replied, and then she took Vettel's arm, turning his attention away from the board. Come on, let's go. We've done enough work for one night. He forced himself to keep his mouth shut, looking away from old NUSA military logos, cross-sections of the most intense sealing code he'd ever seen, and incomprehensible little doodles to meet her gaze. Annie, what do we do about Camilla? And looked to Vettel as they made their way back to the door. She'll understand when we explain things. Do you remember when I told you before this mission? Vettel blinked, his sore brain sorting through the relevant information before finding it. If the Ecotech left no traces, and if the mission was completed successfully, his breath caught in his throat. Wait, is it really? She nodded, a tired smile ever so slightly brightening her features. It's time. Tomorrow. Let's bring evil home. End of part 1.
That's nice.
Thanks.
That was very good, yeah.
And the hook into the next arc.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it was like, I had to make sure I worded it correctly. Or else it would have sounded like they're going to try and break her out like tomorrow.
right.
No. Just the echo, but still.
I mean, to be fair, I still don't understand exactly what it means, but I am looking forward to finding out.
Yes, more will be explained because it's like now it's time. It's relevant time to explain all of the tech and nonsense. But yeah, I had a ton of fun writing this section. So conflict is fine.
You got lost super quickly. Gee, I wonder why. It's not like this is the final chapter of an entire arc. How long is the story right now? 40,000 words?
Two entire OCs, 60,000 words.
60,000. Yeah, 60.
Yeah.
You are 60,000 words into a story. I would recommend reading it from the start. It's very good. It has a lot of things you would like.
You read like the last chapter of the first book of a trilogy.
Essentially. But yeah, and there was also OCs. Like they make things a little more complicated. But yeah.
Well, it's not a simple story. There's a lot going on with a lot of characters, and you joined in after 60,000 words.
A little bit of premise. Like right before this, there was a fight scene with 8 named characters in the same scene. Definitely the largest fight scene in terms of like.
Phoebe, do you like reading? Because if you like reading, this is a story you'll like. You don't have to read any other story, just this one. It has your favorite ship in it.
It's true. Vanilla, all the way.
Favorite. It's your favorite. Which one's your favorite?
It's cyberpunk. It's a big, epic, well-written story, and has your favorite ship in it. Why would you not like it?
Why would you not know that then?
So it's fine. You can still eat food, but like, surely one is your favorite. That's funny. Yeah. Anyway, if you read it, I think you'd really like it, and it would be really cool to have my fic read by the other cyberpunk crossover writer in the fandom. I would really appreciate it. But anyway. Okay, thanks guys, appreciate it. I'm writing the interludes right now, so it's been really interesting. And because of the conference, I haven't had a ton of time, but this next week we'll definitely.
Well, it's been great that you've been able to keep going with this fic for this long too. I know you said you've had a hard time, continuing stories for this long, right?
Yeah.
Half a year, 60,000 words. That's impressive.
Yeah, thank you. I always had a problem finishing my longer fics, but I want to change it this time.
It's
I
also
have a really,
helps...
really clear vision for the rest of the story, so I'm like, I just need to write it.
Nice. Well, it also helps when you have external influences more than just, I want to finish writing this.
It's true. Like, you guys have done so much for me for this, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just
We do
also
appreciate you.
I got that fun commission because I love the story, and I'm definitely gonna get more for parts 2 and 3. So, who it's gonna be though, I'm still deciding. There's so many awesome character designs that I want to share, but yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you both. I'm gonna be here for at least 2 other stories where I have to go.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know if Phoebe wants to go ahead with Forget Me Not Garn, or if I could read The Journey's Bond, just so I'm not reading 2 stories back to back.
Oh, are you going to be reading 2 stories?
I could read A Journey's Bonds.
Oh no. Alright,
I wouldn't mind that. Also, I'm the primary editor of it, so I will stumble over everything I missed.
You'll probably read it a little easier than me because this is my first time reading it. Chapter.
Phoebe, do you want to read next? Chapter 2 of Forget Me Not Garden? Actually, are you here? I don't think he's here.
Oh,
Just like,
I think he's trying to talk, but
Yeah, connection.
why is internet so bad?
He is on a VPN.
Oh, okay.
my fucking Wi-Fi.
Oh, there you are. That's crazy. I'm sorry.
I guess you were saying a lot of words and we just didn't hear any of them.
Right.
I was indeed saying a lot of words.
Yeah, because you stopped responding in the text chat. I thought you just left or something. I didn't know you were trying to speak aloud. We heard nothing. No signs of you trying to talk.
Right.
This is what happens when I don't have a VPN. Your VPN is so goddamn expensive.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
What were you saying? Repeat literally everything.
Repeated literally everything. Well, I heard people talking about like
Immediately cuts off again. Oh, that's so sad. Rip.
Want me to pay for your VPN? You should probably just type whatever
the
you're.
entire time. Oh my
Oh,
god.
there you are. There you are.
Oh,
Hello.
there's Beck.
You want me to pay for your VPN?
Sure, you we can share.
I'm sure there are like sharing services, right?
I don't need a
I've never-
VPN.
I mean, the VPN can be shared between accounts. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay. Fine. I was gonna say I wanted to read chapter 2, but with how things are going, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And I would keep on just.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good example.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, you cut out just that you said
You keep cutting out with comedic timing too. It sounds. It
Yeah,
seems
I-
intentional. I keep
The
wondering if it's
Wi-Fi knows
intentional.
exactly what it's doing. Yeah. What if there's an evil AI in your Wi-Fi that just wants to
I
make you
have the
look silly?
perfect time.
What if there's an evil AI eating your Wi-Fi? No.
Blue eyes.
Red eyes.
Red
Time.
eyes.
Hiding
To
in your
read, and I have
Wi-Fi.
the motivation to read, and my Wi-Fi says, "Nah, go back to your procrastination corner."
Have you actually read chapter 2 of Forget Me Not Garden?
I have not.
Chapter 2? No, I haven't read chapter 2.
None of you have read chapter.
Nope.
What?
I don't read.
Oh, this guy doesn't read.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
I never learned how to read, only to write.
Yes.
How can you expect other people to read your stuff if you can't read anything else?
Don't
kinda real.
out me like that.
That's kind of real. But I should read more stuff. Who do you lose?
All right. Well, I'll read the Journey's bonds then.
All right.
Sorry, phobe.
Yeah, no.
I'll buy you a VPN for
We're on chapter 3, right?
Yes, chapter 3.
Well, Journey's bonds. Chapter 3, chapter 2. Just me for real. A choice in the beginning. The girl stood there, facing one of the biggest choices they would take in life. The choice of their first Pokemon partner. Almost instinctively, they both rushed for the choice they knew all too well. Turtwig. The same Pokemon their father had from the start. But in a cruel twist of fate for Evelyn, her older sister got her hands on the prize starters. Ha! I got Turtwig! Soon I'll have a cool Torterra like that, and I'll be undefeated, told Evelyn with a smug look on her face, rubbing salt in the wound. Evelyn, not willing to stand Samantha's teasing, decided to go on a tactical choice. Chimchar. You know what I think of your stupid Turtwig? I think that it'll lose to my Chimchar. I have the type advantage on you over you after all, Evelyn retorted, challenging her sister. Even with type disadvantage, I'll still wipe the floor with you. And just you wait for him to evolve into Torterra. He'll show you type advantage, Samantha replied, only furthering the tension. You idiot! Torterra is still weak to fire. Ground types don't resist fire types, Evelyn started more getting cut off by her father. Girls, behave. Now you're both Pokemon trainers. Instead of bickering like the children you are, have a Pokemon battle to settle this. What are words without actions, after all? The battle cut in with a dark tone. Some shifted their gaze from their father to each other. Just as they were about to engage in battle, Annie stopped them. Girls, don't battle in here. You'll tear up the lab. Thank Professor Rowan for the Pokédex app and the Pokemon, and then battle somewhere outside where you won't disturb people or break anything, Annie told them in a firm voice, letting it aside at the end. Professor Rowan couldn't help but chuckle at this cute family's antics. Wouldn't surprise me if they both went to take on the gym challenge together, he thought to himself. The girls quickly straightened up and turned to face the professor. Thank you for the Pokédex and the Pokemon, Professor Rowan, they both said as if in a practiced unison. They both gave him a quick bow before turning around. The old man's voice rang out. Don't forget these, girls. You ruts run out of here without your partner's Pokeballs. This will put you two in quite a pickle, huh? The girls quickly whipped out and took the Pokeballs from the trainer. Have fun, you two, and good luck on your journey, the professor, as the twins headed out, giving them a friendly wave. Thanks, but I don't need luck, yelled Samantha as she ran out with Evelyn, giving him a quick wave. The two parents couldn't help but sigh. Thanks, Professor, for giving their daughters their Pokemon and installing the Pokedex app. And thanks for putting up with our antics and bickering, told the professor. Don't worry, I know what it's like to be young, and I'm sure you two remember as well, he reassured them. We sure do, replied Annie with a soft giggle. The couple followed their daughters out of the lab just to keep them out of trouble. As they headed out, they gave the professor one last wave. He smiled and turned back to his research. Can't wait to see what the journey has in store for them, he thought to himself. The girls managed to find a clearing on Route 201 where they could battle in peace, and not break anything or disturb anybody. Just as they got into a battle stance, the parents arrived. Let me be the referee of the match, Metal told the girls with authority in his voice. Sure thing. That means you'll announce me the winner, Evelyn snarkily said. Whatever, Metal said, being a tsundere. Let the match begin. The two girls ordered the Pokemon forward, and they replied with excited cries. This would be their first ever battle since either of them engaged in. They had both watched countless replays of their father's battles, and even some live ones. They were now ready to experience the thrills themselves. They both stood on opposite sides of the clearing with certain expressions on their faces, masking their growing nervousness and excitement. The wind blew a gentle breeze, and the twins stood there waiting for the other to make a move first. Use there, Chimchar! Evelyn ordered, breaking the calm stillness. Chimchar's eyes sparkled as he did what his trainer ordered. He then instinctively closed the distance between them and the grass turtle. Now you scratch in the Turtwig, Evelyn commanded. Just as the fire monkey was about to attack Turtwig, Samantha yelled, Turtwig, use the draw! Just as Chimchar's nails scratched Turtwig, he hid in his shell, protecting himself from major damage. Now follow up with tackle, Samantha said. Turtwig then reemerged from his shell and hit Chimchar square on before Evelyn could order him to dodge. Evelyn, not willing to lose to her sister, started to think of a way she could bypass the turtle's shell, or at least attack it when at least expected. She looked around quickly and got an idea. Chimchar, run for the trees on our right, Evelyn told her Pokemon. Chimchar, seemingly understanding her plan, darted for the trees. Samantha, confused, ordered Turtwig to follow Chimchar. As Chimchar reached the trees, he seemingly disappeared. The time the slow turtle reached the forest's edge, there was no sign of the monkey's glowing fiery tail. As Turtwig was looking around, he failed to notice the figure above him. Turtwig was all Samantha could say as the missing Chimchar dropped on him. Now you scratch! Show them how strong you are! Cheered Evelyn. Turtwig, who had no hope of escape, took the hit. Chimchar came out of the cloud of dust he made and ran back towards the clearing while laughing. Evelyn was also chuckling. Then, to their surprise, Turtwig came back from the undergrowth still standing. I knew he was going to lose to your stupid tricks, retorted Samantha. I'm going to finish this with one last attack, she then said with full confidence in her voice. Not if we have anything to say about it, Evelyn told her sister. You tackle! You scratch! They all said at the same time. The two Pokemon rushed at each other, preparing their attacks, and as they clashed in the center, a cloud of dust formed. Metal, Annie, Samantha, and Evelyn all squinted their eyes to see who won the clash in the center. As the dust settled, Metal announced the winner. The battle is a draw. Both Pokemon are unable to battle. The girls let out a sigh and returned their Pokemon into their Pokeball. You did well, whispered Samantha to her partner's Pokeball. We'll beat them next time, Evelyn similarly whispered to hers. You two fought well for your first battle, Metal said with some pride in his daughter's appearing. Samantha, your defense withdraw to reduce damage was a good idea. And Evelyn, using your surroundings to your advantage, an important skill for becoming a great trainer. Well done, you two, and your Pokemon, he said, commenting on their skills. Before battle could continue going on about what they could do better, and did well, Annie cut in. Now, dear, stop harassing your daughters with all this information, she said with a sweet smile. It's getting late. Let's go back home and rest. I bet you girls and your Pokemon must be tired after your battle. She told them, patting their heads. But Mom, Evelyn's view was cut short by a glare from her mother. Fine, the girls conceded, not wanting to anger their mother. The family walked back to their house in Twin Leaf Town as the sun began to set, casting a golden glow as they laughed and talked about the excitement that day. The following morning. Like any good parents, before their kids leave them to go on an adventure, Gretel and Annie kept bombarding Samantha and Evelyn with questions before they left. Did you make sure you have all your Pokeballs? Do you have your spare change of clothes? Do you? As their influx of questions and uncertainties kept rising, the girls, wanting to leave on their journey, cut them off. Yes, we have everything, said Evelyn, rolling her eyes. Don't worry about us. We have our partners and each other, converted Samantha. We know, it's just that as parents, it's our job to worry, Annie told them. Well, I guess it's time for you two to leave the nest, Bob said with a tinge of sadness to his voice. As Sally moved outside, the twins' excitement was at its peak. After all, they were about to set off on their adventures. As they stood on the edge of the town, they gave their final goodbyes. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. Have fun while we're gone, Samantha said cheerfully. We might miss you, but we'll be too busy winning Pokemon battles for that, said Ella with a hint of timidity. Annie let out a small laugh. We'll miss the both of you too. Have fun in your journey, and always remember that if you need us, you can call us on your new Rotom phones or come visit us. After all, we don't plan on leaving Twinleaf Town for now, she assured with her usual warmth in her voice. Good luck on your journey. Never forget that Pokemon are your friends and allies, not tools. When you care for them, they'll grow strong and stay by your side forever. Being a Pokemon trainer is more than battles. It's about the bonds you forge on your journey. Now go. Show the world who you are, but stay true to yourselves. And like your mother said, you two are always welcome if you need to take a break from your journey. Little said. He wished them only the best of luck. He deeply loved his family and would do anything for them. To see the twins leave on their own filled him with worry, but he knew their potential and trusted them. The twins ran to their parents and gave them a big hug, which they returned. As the twins left, they gave their parents a warm smile and a big wave. Soon they set off on Route 201 to start their journey. As Vettel and Annie walked home, only silence stood between them until Annie broke it. I remember the day I set off like this, like it was yesterday. Guess now I understand how my mom felt, she said with a reminiscent tone. I remember the day I set off too, Lionel replied, thinking back to that fateful day. I just hope it all goes well, and I don't run into any trouble like I did with Team Yell, Sherman Rose, Eternatus, and all that stuff. Hope they can enjoy a normal Pokemon journey without without world-ending threats. He then said, thinking back to the events in his journey and the Darkest Day incident. We can only hope and pray to Arceus, I guess, and instead trying to reassure him. But I have a feeling that our family is inexplicably tied to bizarre and dangerous threats. They might stumble on something more dangerous, she said, half jokingly, half serious. As the couple entered the house, they looked around, seeing the mess the girls left behind as they rushed out. As they made their way to the living room, their gaze shifted towards the mantel of the fireplace, looking at a photograph of a happy family. There was Vettel, Annie, the twins, and a girl who looked slightly older than the twins and resembled them. An unusual silence, usually filled with chaos due to the twins, settled in, a silence they would have to get used to. Another? Yeah, sorry for the speedy reading. I don't know what's up with my voice. It's like weird and raspy today. And also, the twins, whenever I read their dialogue, I always speed up, which is worse. They just have so much energy that I'm like, I must infuse with energy, even though I already have too much. Yeah, they're relatively short chapters. 9:25. I will have to go after the next one. Okay, chapter 4. In the town of Postwick, which rests in southern Galar, lived Vettel. Wait, is this a flashback? I can't remember. Oh, it is. Yeah. It's in the title. Anyway, Toodles Past, setting off to the Strait of the Darkness. In the town of Postwick, which rests in southern Galar, lived Vettel. He lived there with his mother in a small cottage at the edge of the town, bordering the slumbering Weald. On a bizarre day, when Vettel was around 12, he had a fateful encounter. He was exploring town and making his way towards Wedgehurst, when something suddenly tackled his leg. It caused him to stumble and fall back. Ow, that kinda hurt, Vettel commented before realizing what hit him. It was an unusual Pokemon he'd never seen before. It wasn't one of his usual Wooloo, Rookidee, Nickit, or Skobit. The Pokemon looked like a turtle. But it wasn't a Choodle, which was native to Galar. It was a green turtle with an earth-looking shell and a plant spreading from its head. Whoa, I've never seen a Pokemon like you around here. The boy of the creature curiously brushed his hand. What kind of Pokemon are you? He asked. As he approached his hand, the turtle Pokemon tried to bite it. Turtwig, wait! It said with a defiance in its voice, as if daring to approach it. Turtwig, is that your name? Pondered the kid. Turt. The Pokemon is confirming the boy's inquiries. Never heard of that Pokemon species before. He must be from another region. Wait, he suddenly realized. He came from a different region. He must have a trainer, and must be nearby, he said, starting to sound panicked. If they see me, they might think I should just steal you. Vettel started grabbing his head and scratching his hair, then hiding behind the hill and shooting a couple of glances over to make sure nobody was around. Then Turtwig tackled him and shook his head as if saying no. If you don't have a trainer, how did you get here? Vettel pondered. Well, are you some sort of stowaway on a ship or something? Turtwig then shook his head up and down, confirming the boy's thoughts. Well, in that case, there isn't much we can do, I guess, he said. And Turtwig's stomach started to growl. Due to this, he turned his head away in embarrassment. This resulted in a small laugh from Vettel. It's all right to be hungry. Wait a second, I think I have something in my bag, Vettel told him. Turtwig glanced over his shoulder to see what the boy fished from his bag. There it is, Vettel said victoriously. He pulled out some more berries from his bag that his mom picked for him just in case he got hungry. He placed the 2 berries in front of the wild Pokemon and started eating one himself. Here, have this. You're hungry. Don't worry, they aren't poisoned or anything, he reassured the skeptical Pokemon. As Turtwig started eating the berries given to him by the boy, he started to trust him a bit. This was the first time Vettel was friendly with someone from the get-go. It might be because Turtwig was a Pokemon, or because he saw a bit of himself within it, although only being trained to fit in, not fully trusting the world around them. Due to his dourness, Vettel tends to push people away, preferring a solitude where he can study battles to become the strongest. He fears that attaching himself to people might make him weaker, drag him down, and increase his reasoning ability. He especially doesn't like energetic people due to their unpredictability, and then dragging you into situations you want to avoid. But that was his flaw. Humans, just like some Pokemon, are meant to be social creatures. And with the extensive solitude came a certain pain. A pain stemming from not having anybody to share things with, smile with, to laugh with. But with Turtwig, he felt something different. An actual connection, like those he'd avoided for so many times. He felt a certain happiness looking at the turtle eat. Maybe connections aren't all too bad, with Pokemon at least. In the following days, Vettel would visit Turtwig, who found comfort in the hills of Route 1. Their bond grew every passing day, as they would play and have fun together until one day when Vettel came with a new item. Hey Turtwig, he said, sitting down. Wig, replied the Pokemon in question. I have a question for you, started Vettel. Wig, Turtwig responded. Do you want to be my partner, Pokemon? Finally asked Vettel as he held out a Pokeball. As Turtwig looked at the boy and the Pokeball he had in his hand, he knew his answer. The boy he met when he was lost in this new region, the one who befriended him, the one who would help feed him, the one who he saw every day for the past month. His answer was clear. The boy proved himself to be kind-hearted despite a rough exterior he showed most people. A true friend, the only person he could consider a worthy partner. Turtwig approached the Pokeball, a joyful "Turtwig, Turt!" as he touched the button, letting himself get absorbed into the Pokeball. Vettel blinked because when he heard Turtwig speak before entering the ball, he didn't hear. Turtwig heard Turt, he heard, "Of course, my friend." The ball shook once, twice, and a third time before releasing sparkles and a little jingle. He couldn't believe this. He got his first Pokemon. He now had a partner who joined him on his adventure when he finally sets off. He finally has a friend. He quickly took Turtwig out of his Pokeball, releasing him into a red plasma that quickly faded. Turtwig! Turtwig said, moving towards Vettel like an excited puppy. This caused Vettel to fall back as he was attacked by licks and cuddles from his buddy. Shut up, Turtwig, he said, giggling. I wonder what my mom's reaction to all this will be, he mumbled to himself. When he got home that day, his mom welcomed Turtwig with open arms. She was very supportive of Vettel's choice, valuing Turtwig as his first Pokemon. As time passed, the two only grew closer. This brought a smile to Vettel's mom's face to see her son, usually so reclusive and unemotional, be happy and smile as someone he considered a friend. As they turned to weeks and weeks into months, it was about time for Vettel to set off on his journey to become champion. After all, he was now 13. Vettel had his bag packed, a new Rotom phone his mother gave him in hand, and Turtwig standing next to him. Mom, I'll be off now. I love you. Don't worry, I'll message you and give you calls. And yes, I remember to pack everything I needed. Pokemon, potions, berries, spray change of clothes, a map, etc., etc. Vettel told her. Excuse me. Vettel's mom smiled and said one thing as he set off. Good luck, son. I'm always here if you need me. Never forget, you're never truly alone as long as you have your Pokemon. Thanks, Mom. I'll try not to forget that, he quickly said as he laughed. Turtwig gave her a quick nuzzle on the leg and let out a turt as he followed Vettel's head lead. As Vettel made his way through Postwick, he encountered the one person he wanted to avoid. One of his neighbors, Hop. Hop was around Vettel's age. He had dark purple hair shaped upwards, kind of like a spike or pine cone. He had yellow eyes, wore long black pants, black shirt, and an open blue jacket with fur on the edges. He was the younger brother of Leon, the champion of Galar. Hey, neighbor, are you also starting to leave on your journey? I said energetically as soon as he spotted Vettel. No, I'm just heading to town, I quickly retorted, trying to get away from Hop as fast as he can. Oh, man, I really thought you were going to start your journey today. I was going to invite you to join me to visit Professor Magnolia to get ourselves a Pokédex on our Rotom phones, maybe even a Dynamax band. I was also going to ask my big bro for recommendations for both of us as well, he said with disappointment in his voice. As soon as Vettel heard the word Pokédex, Dynamax band, recommendation letter, and Professor Magnolia's name, his attitude switched. That was a joke. I actually am starting my journey today. I would love to join you in visiting Professor Magnolia, and I wouldn't mind getting a recommendation letter from Leon himself to join the gym challenge. Vettel said, masking his excitement due to the offer, causing Turtwig to look in a mix of disbelief and disappointment at his opportunist trainer. Alright, in that case, let's have a battle. Leon said he would meet us at the train station, the Wedgehurst, at 12. It's only 11:30, so we have time for a quick Pokemon battle before setting off, Hop said energetically. Vettel sighed, knowing there isn't a way out of the situation, and gave in. He was a Pokemon trainer now, after all. Getting some early practice with a novice like him wouldn't hurt. Sorry, yawning a lot. Not enough sleep. Okay, as he reluctantly agreed, they both made their way to Hop's house where a battle court was. As they got on, either side preparing for battle, a gentle breeze blew. Go, Turtwig, go, Wooloo, they all said in unison. Turtwig walked forward and gave a little battle cry, while the round sheep Pokemon Hop let out a small bah. What's that Pokemon? I've never seen that one before, pondered Hop. I have the tactical advantage here. I've seen quite a few Wooloo before, and I know what kind of attacks that it should know. Also, no one has any idea what kind of Pokemon Turtwig is, Vettel thought. Turtwig, use Tackle, but aim it low, Vettel commanded. Wig, replied Turtwig, understanding his trainer's plan. He started to charge forward head first. Wait, you're already starting? Quick, Wooloo, use Tackle, Hop started, startled by Vettel's sudden start. Was cut off by Turtwig's attack landing. Wooloo! Wooloo managed to save before fainting. The shock top. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Wooloo's covered in wool, causing it to absorb some attacks better than such as Tackle. By aiming it lower, around the legs, and by using the sprout in Turtwig's head, I could do more damage, causing Wooloo to fall back due to the impact and defeat it, Vettel explained. Just as he was about to turn around to leave, but Hop stopped him. Wait, I have one more Pokemon up my sleeve. This one was given to me by my brother. He said he's brought back Wooloo into his Pokeball. Vettel turned back around, interested to see the Pokemon Leon got. What Pokemon Leon got his brother? Okay, fine. This battle isn't over yet, I guess, Vettel said. Go, Subble, he said as he revealed a small blue lizard chameleon Pokemon from his Pokeball. I haven't seen a Subble before. I know they're native to Galar, though, unlike Turtwig. I don't know much about it, though. Seems like we are both in the same situation, Vettel thought to himself in an instant, calculating his next move. But I have the type advantage. The only problem is that Turtwig knows Tackle and withdraw at this level. Either way, I don't think a Subble has any concerning attacks. Normal type attacks, which are common for low-level Pokemon, do neutral damage, and Turtwig resists water-type attack. Subble, use Pound, yelled Hop. Subble quickly jumped towards Turtwig with every energy surrounding its right hand. Turtwig, move back quickly to dodge, Vettel ordered. Turtwig jumped back, causing Subble to land right in front of it, kicking up dust. He had fallen into his trap. Then use a point-blank tackle, Vettel commanded, already knowing the outcome of the battle. Turtwig quickly ran into the Subble that just landed, causing it to fly back and faint. Oh man, you beat me. That was a fun battle, Hop said with a smile, despite his loss. You were too reckless and not worried enough for your opponent. I made the battle easy, Vettel whispered to himself. Turtwig gave a small victory cry and went back to Vettel. Vettel pulled an armberry out of his pocket and fed it to his partner as a reward for his battle. Use the ball, bud, Vettel told him. We should start heading to Wedgehurst now, Hop said, more crossing his arms behind his head. We shouldn't be too late to see Leon, after all. We don't want him to go get lost before we even find him. We want to meet with Professor Magnolia on time. Sure, Vettel said, sighing. He would have to deal with Hop until they split ways after talking to Professor Magnolia. As the two boys made their way into town, followed by Turtwig, they felt a glare coming from the slumbering Wild, and heard a crack from that direction. They decided to check it out real quick before heading to see Leon. As they approached the edge of the Wild, they saw a broken fence. And Wooloo track, heading into the mysterious off-limits areas. Wooloo must have busted down the fence and into the slumbering Wild, explained Hop, concerned. We must go save it. As ran into the forest, Vettel sighed. Well, Turtwig, let's go help that idiot and the Wooloo. After all, they'll need our help to trace their steps and keep them safe, he said. Turtwig agreed. The two then rushed back to the dark purple-haired boy to keep him out of trouble. A giant dark cloud covered the sky. Vettel stood facing the shadow before him. Atop Hammerlock Stadium he stood. All those he knew that had come up to face this imposing threat lay unconscious. Hop, Leon. He had distracted Chairman Rose so they could come put a stop to this, but it was useless. All he did was force himself to face the threat. He was Galar's final hope, only he stood between the monster and the region. He was alone. Nobody to help him, nobody to rely on, only himself. As the creature started peering through the clouds, you could see clear of the beast, the darkest day itself. It was a giant serpent-like creature, coiled with a weird core thing at its center, with a hand as a head. Each finger had a mouth, and on its palm with 5 crystals that got closer or further to each other, like a mouth without a hole. The monster summoned to fix an energy crisis bound to Monster summoned to fix an energy crisis bound to happen in 1,000 years. Now it's gone rogue beyond what Sherman envisioned. The Pokemon behind Dynamax and Gigantamax caused terror 3,000 years ago and now returned, but the legendary heroes from back then were long gone. The boy had no hope of victory, but he would still try to face the monster after all. If those who lay here unconscious gave it their all to try and stop it, it would be foolish of him not to try as well. Either he fights now or he falls later down the line due to its destruction of chaos. Battle prefers the former, though. He's willing to fight to the end to save others. And as he stood there and tried to suppress the rising fear within him, Liam is the champion. If he lost, how can I do anything? If I had others like Hop, Bait, and Marnie by my side, maybe I could stand a chance, but alone, he thought to himself. No, I mustn't let these thoughts get to me. After all, someone has to defeat Ete. Ete? I don't know. Yeah.
Should just spoil for anyone who doesn't know Pokemon, you know.
Oh, thanks for the visual references. I appreciate it.
Okay, this is a funny gif.
Antisocial little baby Vettel. Very cute. Yeah, I wonder how many people. Oh, that thing. Oh yeah, I do remember that thing. That's kind of scary. What was I gonna say?
Eldritch monster. Somebody call vodka
Freak.
Delta.
Oh yeah, I wonder how many stories have Vettel as like an actual kid. Like, not as common of a thing. Actually, yeah, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Vettel rhymes with pedal rhymes with metal.
If
Like
that
where they're all like
if that counts.
they're all school students together.
There is one fic I remember that had like flashbacks. Why am I muted?
Yeah.
I have been muted this whole time on Discord, not on OBS, but on Discord. That's annoying. I was saying there is one that has. I know there's one that has like a bunch of flashbacks towards him as a kid.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess these are flashbacks too, but yeah, kind of fun. I don't know anything about Pokemon, so it's really fun being the beta reader for this because I'm like,
You're just judging it based off story.
yeah,
Yeah.
just the most objective quality possible. Yeah, I kind of want to tell him to show, not tell as often, but that's kind of like it's a big thing. It's like, and he's such a young writer that like telling somebody that it's like,
I look at like what are the priorities? Okay, it's like
yeah,
if there's other like more fundamental things to like, okay, you can improve on this and this that are a lot more concrete than show don't tell. Show don't tell is
Yeah,
this
show don't tell
really big
is-
vague thing. Like
It's really important, but in order to like do it, you have to like, especially in like this kind of context, you have to like change every aspect of your storytelling in order to apply it correctly. And if that's such a huge change to somebody's writing style, I usually don't recommend that kind of a thing if it's like not where they're at, because like it's kind of like like everything you have here, all bad. Like that's kind of how it can come across, you know. Which I don't want to sound like. I like helping writers, so it's like, yeah. Anyway. But it is fun though, and I especially like. It's really fun imagining Evil and Neuro running around with the Pokemon. It's just extremely cute. Yeah.
cute. Evil's so cute. Neuro's so cute.
I agree. What is this new emote? Turtle Worm.
I don't like it.
Turtle.
I don't. There are only two not. I want every emote to be neuro and evil, except there's two. There's two Vito emotes I use. It's
Is one of them this one?
yes. I was about to say it's that one
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
and this one.
Oh, Tulo, yeah.
Those are good ones. I do like the muscle one. That one's kind of fun.
I do like buff.
Giga Vito.
Gigabit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fear ones are new, aren't they? Or like fear
I
and
like them.
disgust.
You.
Or-
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that old. What was it when Neuro's V3 model came out? One of the first things I saw during the subathon of people did it was they got. They used that manga. What's it called? Like meme format where it said it was like she was looking at walking garbage.
Oh, walking garbage.
Let's see if I can find that.
Oh yeah. I like this one a lot. I also use the I don't know what this one is from, but I use this one as like a ooh, that's interesting. Is how I
Same.
use that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an old one.
So cute. And you gave me the backstory behind this one. I was like, what the heck is that? And then you like told me to like about the fish and stuff.
Yeah.
It's this. It's the emote, but it's Neuro.
Yeah.
Fish is from the Subnautica mod where they put the Neuro version of the emote onto a fish model and made it say in Neuro's voice.
Then like super
That's
lag
so
the game.
funny.
It'll spawn like a whole crowd of them. Like a whole swarm.
Somebody, I forget what it was. Oh yeah, they had like a functionality where when one of them bumped into the ship, they like multiplied, and that was there was sharks. They had sharks,
sharks,
and
yeah.
when they bumped into the ship, they multiplied, and it got real bad.
That's so funny.
We're like, they'll freak out because the ship was like rocking back and forth. You see sharks like phasing in and out. Oh my god, so Subnautica playthrough I think is one of my favorites.
I love game
Like,
mods. One of my favorites
Alrighty,
was
y'all.
the Stanley
Have a
Parable.
good day. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Right.
Well, it's because in the Stanley Parable, Beetle had himself muted. Okay, so Neuro wouldn't hear him. And it was just Neuro would respond to the narrator.
Yeah, that was good. I gotta rewatch that one.
The broom closet was so perfect. It felt scripted.
Okay. Next story, I believe, is Demon Queen by...
Yeah, there's two left. They're both, we've only read... No, there's one more. Yeah, sorry. No, there's two more. Cartoon's also
Demon
reading.
Queen.
Right.
Let's see.
We've only read two of the ones that were listed. We're taking so long just chatting.
Right, alright.
I mean, we have
Going
time
on.
because there's only 4 of them, but
Yeah.
there's also only 4 of us here now.
Yeah. But that's enough.
It is.
Four's a crowd, they say. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe we're in chapter 5 of Demon Queen.
Ava's not here. I don't know.
Yeah, at Ava. Oh, we forgot to add Skele that we're reading the James Bond. Rip. What chapter? I'm pulled up to chapter 5. Cartoon, did you read Oh god, I don't remember. Yeah, I also forgot. What was the previous chapter? Yeah, like feel like you read chapter 4. I'm trying to remember if we read chapter 5. Okay, so I'll just read chapter 5. And once again, if I cut out for a reason, just mass ping me. Alright. Chapter 5 of Demon Queen by Neuro-sama. The Guild, the Kid, and the Lie She Has to Live With. Camilla stepped inside and immediately felt like she'd walk into a manga panel. Not a nice one. An evil one. The building was large, stone walls reinforced with thick wind beams to look more like they'd been salvaged from siege weapons than trees. Dim, reddish light filtered in through high, narrow windows, casting everything in a perpetual dusk. The air smelled like sweat, metal, old ale, blood that had soaked into the floorboards long ago, and something vaguely sulfuric that burned the back of her nose if she breathed too deeply. And yet, it was recognizable. Her eyes flicked around, taking it all in. A massive job board dominated one wall, absolutely plastered with papers, parchment, metal plates, and nailed-on noses. Some torn, some bloodstained, some written in inks that shimmered faintly with magic. Groups of demons clustered around it, arguing, pointing, ripping jobs down with claws or teeth. Off to the side was what looked like a mess hall. Long tables, benches, demons eating things Camilla really didn't want to identify. Laughter broke out occasionally. Rough, sharp, mean laughter. There wasn't constant screaming or violence. Just noise. There was a shop tucked into one corner. Weapons, armor, potions, talismans, things in jars that absolutely should not be moving on their own. And scattered throughout were mercenaries. Demons of all shapes and sizes. Horns, tails, extra eyes, scales, fur. Skin tones ranging from coal black to deep red to sickly gray. Some were missing limbs. Some had scars so severe she wondered how they were still alive. Some lounged like this was just another boring day at work. Camilla stood there for a second too long. Her brain helpfully supplied, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit! Then another thought immediately followed. Wow, the slop actually prepared me for this. Years of trash isekai anime, light novels, manga, reincarnation power fantasies, guild arcs that all blend together in her head. And now, finally, they were useful. She almost laughed. Almost. She pulled her cloak tighter around herself and started walking. Her boots echoed softly against the stone floor as she moved deeper into the building, posture stiff, steps measured. She didn't rush. She didn't slink. She walked. Just another mercenary, just another bounty hunter. The outfit did most of the work. The cloak, the mask with blank white eyes, the way the fabric fell just right to obscure her frame. If anyone looked too closely, they might know she was short, weirdly short, but not immediately out of place. She got looks, not hostile ones, mostly confused. A few demons tilted their heads as she passed. Others paused mid-conversation, eyes flickering to her, then away again. One particularly massive demon squinted at her, then leaned down towards his companion and muttered something Camilla very pointedly ignored. She caught the word kid. Her jaw clenched. I am not a kid, she thought viciously. I am a grown adult woman who pays taxes. Or paid, past tense. Shut up. She was not about to pick a fight with someone whose waist was at her eye level. She wandered aimlessly, letting herself get a feel for the place. Her eyes kept drifting to the job board. She tried to read it, and immediately felt her soul leave her body. The symbols were nothing. Not unfamiliar letters, not foreign script, just absolute nonsense. Curves that didn't connect right, lines that hurt to look at, shapes that her brain refused to process as language. She blinked, looked away, looked back, still gibberish. Are you serious? She muttered under her breath. She could understand what people were saying just fine. The language flowed into her ears like it had always belonged there. She could pick up accents, tone, intent. But reading? Nothing. What kind of selective bullshit is this? She hissed quietly. You give me all translate for speech but not text? Are you kidding me? It felt personal. Like the universe had looked at her and said, no, fuck you specifically. At least she wasn't completely dead in the water. Still, illiterate. in a world where everything important was written down. She sighed and rubbed her face under the mask. Her fingers rushed the coin pouch at her side. Her stomach tightened. She had no idea how much money she actually had. No concept of value. For all she knew, she'd be carrying enough to live comfortably for a month, or barely enough for another night at a shit-tier inn. Her mind, traitorous as ever, drifted back. Blood. The weight of the mace. The sound. Her gut twisted sharply, a dull ache blooming under her ribs. She forced herself to breathe. Don't. Not now. She couldn't spiral here. She couldn't cry. She couldn't break. She had to live. She needed this job. People got bounties for a reason. That's what she told herself. That's what she had to believe. She swallowed hard, buried the thought as deep as she could manage, and kept walking. Eventually, she spotted the reception desk. A long counter made of dark wood reinforced with iron. Behind it sat a woman who was very much not a demon. Pointed ears, smooth, tanned skin, sharp eyes dulled by exhaustion. Camilla slowed. An elf. Probably. Dark elf? Maybe? The skin tone matched what she'd seen in anime, but immediately thinking that felt weirdly racist. She felt an elf of some kind and moved on. The elf looked tired. Not physically weak, just done. The kind of tired that came from dealing with idiots all day, every day, forever. The kind of tired that lived behind a perfectly practiced, completely fake smile. The tired guild receptionist trope. Camilla almost cried in relief. Oh, thank God, she whispered under her breath. Consistency. She approached the desk. The elf didn't look up at first. Take a ticket, she said, automatically, voice flat. Camilla glanced around. There were no tickets. Hi, Camilla said. The elf sighed, finally looking up, and then paused. Her eyes flickered over Camilla. The cloak, the mask, the height. You lost? The elf asked. Camilla bristled. No. You're in the mercenary guild. Yes. This isn't a costume shop. Camilla's jaw clenched. I want to register. The elf blinked, then laughed. Not unkindly, but definitely dismissively. Oh, sweetheart, no. Camilla felt something in her eye twitch. I'm serious. The elf leaned forward slightly, lowering her voice. Listen, kid, this isn't a place for. I'm not a kid. The elf paused, then smiled in that same tired way. Sure. Camilla stared at her, blankly, unmoving, like a possessed doll. The elf tried to sheer her away, waving a hand. Go home, or wherever it is you're supposed to be. You'll get yourself killed here. I won't. Yes, you will. No. The elf sighed. Camilla did not move. She stood there, silent, stubborn, unyielding. Minutes passed. People came and went. The elf tried ignoring her. Camilla stayed. Finally, the elf pinched the bridge of her nose. You are really committed to this bit. I need work. The elf studied her more closely now. The way she stood, the stillness, the eyes behind the mask. Fine, she muttered. Fine. Entrance mission. Camilla's heart jumped. Yes! These are probationary missions, the elf continued. You go with an actual mercenary. You support. You do not lead. If you freeze up, run, or cause problems, you're done. Camilla nodded immediately. Yes. The elf glanced at the job board, then called out a name. A demon groaned from across the room. A tall, broad-shouldered demon with dull red skin and curled horns turned, scowling. He looked tired, but not unhinged. His gear was well maintained. His eyes were sharp, but not cruel. One of the more level-headed ones. Absolutely not, he said immediately. I didn't sign up to babysit. You picked a bounty, the elf replied coolly. You know the rules. That's a kid. I'm not. And I'm not getting her killed, he snapped. The elf leaned forward, voice dropping. Then scare her off. Either way, she's your problem. He glared, then sighed. Fine. He walked over, stopping in front of Camilla. He looked her up and down. You serious? Camilla met his gaze. Yes. He snorted. You'll last 10 minutes. She didn't respond. That unsettled him more than any argument could have. I'm Ref, he said gruffly. You stick close, you listen, you don't do anything stupid. Camilla nodded. I'm Camilla. The elf cleared her throat. You have 30 minutes to introduce yourselves, then you leave. She turned to Rev, her tone unmistakable. Keep her safe. The meaning was crystal clear. Keep this dumb kid safe. Camilla clenched her fists inside her sleeves. She said nothing. She just stared. Still, silent, waiting. Because if she let herself speak, if she let herself feel, she might not stop. And she had to live, no matter what it cost her. Alright, that's chapter 5. Well, she got the dog. Now she has to live. I'm going to leave it there so we can pick up with. Oh, we could do chapter 6 and 7 next time. Yes. Alright. Yeah, I'm good with leaving it there for now, and then.
My nose just randomly started bleeding. That's
I'm so sorry, Chad.
That is fantastic. I get them a lot, but it just, I don't know. It was like, why did it just randomly happen? Ugh. So, I guess we're on the last story. Cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Is my mic clear? I think everyone. Okay, sounds good. La... Today is chapter 5. What happened last time again? The final showdown between Neuro and Evil. Yeah. The Fable 25. Whatever that is. A warm breeze passed, contrasting with the supposed time of the year, December. There's no snow or ice here, just the boring hot air with an almost suffocating scent of coal. Weddell forced himself up from the ground, his hand pressing against the concrete, his vision still blurry from the events that had transpired. His entire body ached, both physically and mentally. He took a big gasp of air, letting the scorching air fill his lungs. It was here that he realized that he wasn't alone. The creatures from his drawings, too many of them, from the fat and chubby one to the small witty ones, all the way to one that would claw his eyes out simply for fun. They all look at him, not with spite or anger, but with curiosity. Hey, the package! It's out! A small demon, with its irritating voice, blurted out. Weddle turned immediately, locking eyes with a small demon that looked like he could step on it in an accident. As his gaze became more distant, he started becoming familiar with his surroundings. He was in what looked like a town square, each meter of it filled with a group of hellbound beasts. The surrounding buildings looked like they had seen better days. Most of the windows were broken and their paint was scratched beyond reason. Yet none of them compared to what was standing in the center, where the demons were more scarce. Almost forming a visual circle around was a massive Christmas tree, adorned with different types of decoration. An eerie red glow emanated from the base of the tree, enough to bathe everything in its radiance. Weddle wasn't having any of this. What if I just... He turned back, slowly going back toward the exit of the plaza, only to be cut off by the brutal sound of blade being unsheathed. There were a group of very scary-looking demons that had their extraordinarily sharp weapon pointing at him. Have you no manners? The fire wish to see you. One of them spoke with an impressive authority. Would ye rude to decline her wish when you came all the way here? Rude to decline her wish when you came all the way here. Whoa, easy. Weddle raised his hand almost as a form of resignation. He felt more powerless and helpless than ever. Resignedly, he began making his way forward toward the center. The beast's eyes his walk as he traversed, making a clean path for him. He took steady steps. The closer he got, the more intense the light became. More he began feeling it, the bizarre energy which was seeping into his very being. As the very last line of demons cleared, he saw she simply stood there, observing the large plant in front of him while continuously bathing everything else with the same crimson glow. Widow could see her fingers extending and then tensing as if trying to grab something out of thin air. Widow's hesitation grew, but not enough to disturb his approach. He felt the otherworldly energy. Oh, someone joined. Energy leaking off of her, brushing his very being. You are finally here. Her voice came, the energy hidden within the word. I have been waiting for this moment. Widow straightened his posture, tried his best to hide his facade. I'm sorry, do we know which other? Her shoulders lifted slightly and fell back down as she took a sigh. Her body slowly turned, the long brown strand of hair dancing elegantly to the current. Her face came after, freezing Widow in place. Do we... Widow's brain almost ached as she saw her eyes, the blood-red, soul-melting gaze that she carried almost like a weapon. You... I'm confused why your drawing skills seemingly went out the window when you did me. She chuckled, tone laced with mockery. Whatever the case, it was enough. Widow gritted her teeth, making a fist. What is it that I'm so interesting about? You interesting, she giggled, almost making her laughter. Almost masking her laughter. I really couldn't care less about who or what you are. Her head dropped slightly as she opened her palm. What I do care about, however, what you harbor inside. Her tone was wicked thick. What? Widow felt his breath force out of his system as an intense burn began scorching his chest. His head rang loud enough to mask any noise from the outside. What is this? You kept this inside yourself for so many years. Her tone came distant and muffled, and you fed it, letting it grow inside of you. How delicious. A vision began to manifest in his will. He felt cold, not physically but emotionally. He looked around and it looked like some old wooden house, decorated from head to toe with New Year's and Christmas decor. There was a massive family-sized table in the middle and an absolute feast on it, slowly cooling down as the steam escaped the rice and stuffed turkey. Torn leathers clattered to the floor, covering it from one corner to another. Some were inside the fireplace, their matter melting off into the flame as it slowly withered away. He found himself with a fork standing beside his plate. He looked at the other chairs, all vastly different from each other in some way, whether by color or by name on them. Yet there was one thing that were all the same. They were all empty. Weddle fell on his knee, finally letting it boil him. Pain tore to his pain tore to his chest as he screamed his lungs out. He felt his flesh melt and words form in his mind. Hate. Don't you recognize this? She grabbed Widow's thick hair with her other hand. You were carrying this inside you all this time, she whispered into Widow's ear. Widow's tearly face was revealed to the public as his hair was yanked by her. He looked at her other hand, which now contained a red flame with black center that didn't burn but consumed. With the flick of her hand, she sent the fire over to the strand of the large Christmas tree, setting it branch ablaze. She held Widow by the hair ever so tightly, forcing him to watch the spirit of the Christmas burn. The fire consumed, leaving only the black bark in its place. The decoration, once so pretty, were now being malformed and disfigured as the paint melted off. She finally let him go, sending him flying toward the ground, overlooking him like the grim reaper. The staff flew in her hand, looking like it was being held against its will to serve this unstoppable force. Does it feel familiar? She whispered, barely enough for him to hear. Do you feel it? Widow's head hurt like hell. Why? His breath hitched in his throat, forcing the words out. His eyes had blurred beyond recognition, yet he saw her image as clear as day. Are you doing this? I only harvested what was there in the first place, the hate that you have been feeding every year. She looked back at the tree, which was creaking loudly from the stem. Doesn't matter how cold your ice is. A cool breeze, very slightly, very subtle, flowed to the plaza. Hate doesn't care about temperature. Well, her voice exploded to the plaza, echoing throughout. The demon slowly turned to face the lone figure that had appeared out of the corner, her hair dancing gleefully to the current. Evil simply looked at the figure blue eyes and smiled. She placed the staff beside her on the rock, freeing her hands, raising both of her palms above herself. The demon traced every step. With a smooth movement, the crowd between her and the newcomer has been opened. Now, would you look at that? She smiled sinisterly. She kicked Widow in the arm while he was still whimpering in pain, sending him crashing in the ground. Did you come here to save this helpless man? Her gaze was still locked on one thing. I came for my staff. You mean? She thumped the ground hard, knocking the staff into the air with a gasp. This staff? She tilted her head slightly, maintaining a smirk. Come and get it. Neuro took one step, and her world froze. Ah! She collapsed on the cold concrete, a ripping pain deep inside her chest, trying to tear her apart. She looked forward, vision blurry from her eyes. She saw her staff pulsating with an eerie crimson. Evil's smile widened as she watched Neuro squirm in pain. Neuro fought. She fought against herself, against everyone. Her halo flickered uncontrollably. Blinking in and out, she ran, finally able pushing herself off her knee, getting eye level with her adversary. Evil mood dropped as she saw Neuro on her 2 feet again. Neuro enduring every last bit of pain, taking slow, shaky step toward the center. The demon eyed her curiously as she stumbled her way toward their master, too afraid to do anything more than observe. Neuro took one final step as she solidified her position in the concrete, a cool breeze passing through her body as her halo grew brighter and brighter. Her gaze never left her adversary, contrasting with her blood-red eyes. Look at you. She tilted words softer than before, laced with fake sense of pity. Without your weapon, you are so powerless, so frail. I'm almost ashamed that you are my sister. Neural body froze upon her word. Even her hair became stiller. My sister? She seemed to be in utter confusion. I don't have a sister. Yet this was different. All the other angels had sisters who looked similar to each other with some key difference. She looked at her adversary, her long brown hair placed in the gleaming glaze. Of course you would say that, she chuckled almost out of spite. They erase me every hour a mere stain. Neuro gaze hardened. Who are you? Me? A fiery shockwave raced across the plaza, illuminating the sky when the light had dimmed down. She stood her silhouette against an angel. Evelyn Samantha, the angel of hellfire. Nora lowered her arm and was promptly horrified by the sight. The creature's halo had inverted. Instead of radiating light, it absorbed it in a dark embrace. Her wings, too, weren't the bright color of cloud, but darkness of charcoal. Neuroverse hitched, almost lost her balance, barely keeping herself upright at the sight of volume before her. Her suffering made Evelyn grin even more. What is this? This is so surprising, sister. Her tone was low, almost seductive. I was waiting for a long time to see you again. Why are you doing this to me? To us? Nero screamed, tears streaming down her face. Me? I didn't do anything. She spoke, tone as flat as her. You did. You lied to me. Nero whimpered, seeing a glimpse of her vision. When they denied me solitude, she gripped her staff tighter. You said that you would always be with me. She sighed a few times almost as if her own breathing was fighting. Her own breath was fighting. Ah, I get it. Yet when I was separated, what did you do? Vedo groaned, feeling the burn inside his chest even more intense. The tree creaked, its internal structure failing as the decoration began to melt into small puddle metal. Neuro tried to siphon her power from a distance. Her back ached from the wings trying to form, only to fall short. Nothing. She clenched her fist hard, gritting her teeth as flame exploded out. You never came. You just left to burn. You just left me to burn, like how they always wanted me to. I don't. Before Nuru could finish her sentence, Evelyn sent her a ball of fire, barely missing her hair by a few inches. Nuru's eyes had shrunken to pinpoint, shaking endlessly in fear. Don't play the victim now. Her words had venom in them. You allowed them to do this to me. Nero sobbed, the demon uncontrollable that I did not fit in with the rest. Her words were dark. They tried to hide their fear by erasing me, to pretend that they still had control. I could only wait even when my soul burned, when my wings scorched. The flame grew wider than ever. I could only scream your name, a help that would never come. Evelyn started huffing, almost looked like she was consumed from the inside. That was the first time I understood what evil actually feels like. A single tear escaped her eyes. And so, she corrected her posture, looking down at Angel. That who I became. A bright flame began to accumulate at the tip, illuminating the face of everyone. The demons almost seemed tempted to watch the fate of the angel. That was until a slow pitch growl pierced the crowd. Oh, the low pitch. Whatever. The sound of metal blades falling and bodies being flailed away filled the plaza. Heavy breath akin to those of wild animals echoed along with heavy footsteps. The hellhound pressed her leg on the skull of a field demon and propelled herself upright. Her fiery flame became the center of attention for a split second before she transformed back into a human form, trident in tow toward the enemy. Evelyn turned her head, being instantly greeted by the hellhound inches away from herself. Concrete fractured as she landed on the ground, trident pointed directly toward her chest. An explosion tore to melt to the very earth beneath their shoes. Evelyn skidded back a step, smoke and ember rising from her wings as she observed the hellhound through the dust. She struck without warning, trident pierced through the smoke as she shot at her with full strength. Boom! The intense explosion set the air itself ablaze. The building were illuminated by the orange glory. Evelyn's heels slid through the concrete, making a thin ravine to it until she finally came to a stop. Yet for some reason she felt emptier. She looked up, seeing the staff spinning in the air, knocked over by the impact. Nuro saw the staff, floating gracefully above her, and her body moved before it fell. She extended her arm, reaching out to the staff, her halo pulsating violently, pain surging through her body as the staff resisting her very being, trying to push her away with all its might. The pain reached its climax as the finger wrapped around the wood. It burned, not the skin, but the flesh underneath it. It screamed, not with words, but with its eye, resisting her like some sort of foreign entity. Yet, no matter what it threw, Neuro didn't let go. She just held on tight with all her might until a deep blue penetrated the air. The wave of frost came exploding outward, racing across the plaza. Nobody saw anything, blinded by a bluish white of crystallized air. The demons, once watching the conflict with great delight, didn't even have time to comprehend before the ashen body were frozen inside Arctic coffer, reflecting the light with their now half reflective and brittle skin. Yet one thing still burned. The tree, still scorching with the same red and dark flame. Nuro descended upon the ground, her wings stretched, her halo glowing golden, her eyes like the sky. She held her staff there, clinging to it like a part of herself, with a bright blue azure glow. The ice statue shattered, reduced to nothing but small chunks of ice that swiftly began to melt. The plaza seemed a lot emptier, with only three of them left. Evelyn turned around and saw Cerber charging at her with reckless strength again. She smiled, a wicked grin on her face. Cerber moved with pure muscle, thrusting her trident, yet this time anticipating the attack. Evelyn effortlessly dodged her movement almost effortlessly, as every part of her simply set out of Cerber's will. Cerber stumbled, sliding momentarily before her boots came to a stop on the ice floor. She turned aggressively, once again seeing her gaze doing virtually nothing to protect herself. She looked insanely hittable. So Cerber gripped her trident again and went on the attack. It was exactly what Evelyn wanted. She examined Cerber's movement. The way she violently dashed to her target a mere second were enough for Evelyn. Cerber charged until she was half a meter away from her face. Then, abruptly, she came to a gruesome halt, and Evelyn grabbed hold of the trident like it was a toy. Cerber didn't have time to comprehend as her other hand landed on her side like a meteor. Her breath was forced out of her lungs as she was sent flying through the air, her trident spinning next to her as she reached the highest point. Yet, before she could so much as see the ground, she felt the air of Evelyn's wings caressing her body. She felt her grip close upon her ankles like a vice, feeling the heat coursing inside her veins. Look at this cute little puppy. Evelyn's tone had a fake softness to it. So undisciplined. Must be educated how to act near her elders. Cerber was lifted even higher as if she had no control over her body. Before she could do anything, she was violently hurled towards the ground. The wind flowed through her body, first warm, then cold as she finished her flight. A crunch. The ice on the plaza shattered as she crashed down, enough to cave in the concrete brick. Once the ground had settled, the gruesome sight was there for everyone to see. Cerber stood barely. Her limbs were shaking, giving their best to keep her upright. Her trident was a few steps away, lodged in the ice. Drops of blood were dropping from her mouth onto the ice. Yet her strength finally wavered as she collapsed on the floor, the breath leaving her lungs. Evelyn started making her way toward with slow, deliberate steps. Her wings burned with embers. I thought your kind had long since gone extinct. She had a fake sense of resentment in her voice. She lip halted as she stood tall over her. Cerber tried to reach her titan, but was grabbed from the neck as she was lifted upward. Evelyn examined Cerber's teary violet eyes. You may as well be the last of your kind. She kicked Cerber in the stomach, slamming her to the ground as she caught up a gulp of blood. She really leaned down on her, voice whispering her. You will meet them soon enough. Smiley face. Get away from her! The voice cut through the smoke. Evelyn turned her head, seeing Nuro glowing an eerie blue. Her wings stretched wide, the halo glistening like the sun. The staff showed a transparent snowflake at the tip. Evelyn smiled, seeing her sister back on her 2 feet. She conjured a streak of flame before manifesting her cold, black harpoon in her hand, and without saying anything, she simply started walking toward Nuro. Nuro didn't wait. She rapidly conjured a massive spear made of ice and hurled it toward Evelyn. The air around it crystallized as the spear traversed through. Evelyn simply raised her hand, and the spear got reduced to smoke, reflecting from the ice. She stood behind, unbothered. Neural breath hitched in her throat. Evelyn moved too fast for even the light to catch up. She attacked Neural with her harpoon, who had barely enough time to block with an ice shield. Yet, with another well-timed attack, the rather thin barrier shattered. Neural did a few flips, wings flapping desperately to get her to stop. After a bit of air gliding, she finally touched down on the ground, sliding a few meters before stopping. Jet even didn't. She charged at Neuro with ruthless efficiency, showing the proficiency of a killer. Ice met with hell as both of the forces began to clash with each other. Shards of ice were thrown off each time as both tried to fend off the other. That was until Evelyn noticed an opening. Noticing the millisecond-long downtime, she pulled through and lunged at her. Her finger wrapped around the bottom of her neck, around the jaw. Evelyn only grinned. A fatal mistake. She smashed Nora on the ground, cracking the pavement below as mist of ice was lifted. As she let her go for a second, watching the trembling body of her pain sister. Nora didn't give in. She grabbed the staff and dashed back, staining her eyes a dull pink as her blood leaked on the way. Evelyn looked elsewhere, pouting, almost as if she didn't care. Without warning, she threw the harpoon in Nora's direction. It flew effortlessly in the air until the sound of flesh being ripped echoed throughout. Neural pain scream echoed as she collapsed, her wings dropping with the thick metal now lodged in it. Even with your staff, you are still weak. Evelyn sat in her spot, unmoving. Neural squeezed her fist, the blood pooling near her knees, staining her reflection red. I wonder what they will think when they see you like this. Her voice sounded almost tired. When they see my creator drowning in her own blood. Neural grabs, then cough, crimson drops dropping out of her lips. But we have done this before. She turned her back, uninterested in Neural, and I'm already bored. She slowly walked over to the other victims. Several half-heard, her vision blurred, and her head ached. Yet through the smoke she heard heavy footsteps. Lifting her head, she saw Evelyn approaching with deliberate steps, the firelight following her, carving her way through the ice. You see what she truly is. Her words echo in the mind. You saw right through a facade, yet you still believe it. She leaned down on her ears, whispering, "Why should you?" Silver tried to headbutt her, but fell short as Evelyn stepped back. As Evelyn backed away. Shut up! Don't you see the truth? The darkness disguised as light. The lies they made up to justify their actions. Silver clawed at her hair, the ringing getting ever more intense. Get out of my head! Then her vision cleared. She saw smoke, dust, and fire, an atmosphere that was almost there just to choke. Then screams. She saw her kin, some running away, some fighting the winged creature with glowing rings above their head. She saw another one, still alive, fighting vigorously, as it was lifted into the air and dropped to its death. The blaze crashed with fury, scattering light as it sliced through the flesh. It was genocide disguised as mercy killing. Sarah could only barely feel her body now. She saw Evelyn holding out her trident, almost as if she was offering it. Do what is right. She grabbed the trident, the metal digging her skin. Neuro eye quivered, both confused and horrified by the scene. Server? She's fine, Neuro. Evelyn moved aside, letting Neuro see Server, her eyes replaced by crimson flame, rage leaking out of every pore. The dog just wants to play. Smiley face. Before everybody had a chance to react, Server glided through the surface, barely being blocked inches away from her face. She saw her hatred, a burning desire for revenge, not placed, just uncovered. Server roared, a primal, almost animal sound, her teeth soaked red from her own blood. She dashed again, forcing Nuro to dodge, but scraping the flesh on her arm as she got away. Flame exploded to Nuro limbs as her flesh melted off, but she forced herself to keep up her composure. Sherber, please stop! She refused to fight back. She didn't hear her. She couldn't. She shouted again toward Neurochef. She blocked her with her staff, lodging it between the metal teeth of the trident. She could feel the heat, not just hot, but also consuming from the inside. Saber! Before she could finish her sentence, Saber gave Evelyn harpoon still lodged inside her feather. Wait! The sickening sound of flesh being ripped open echoed across the plaza. Neuro screamed with a deafening force. The drop of red flew up a few meters before splattering on the ground, painting it with her life force. Saber punched Neuro in the stomach, sent her flying toward one of the buildings. Her tears dropped off her face as she flew. The wall cracked as her body collided with the building, sending dust into the air. Neuro felt her vision starting to blur, her energy starting to run dry. Saber didn't care. Neuro saw her approach with little speed. With the last ounce of her strength, she sent herself off the cracked wall into the air. A short moment of peace overtook Neuro's sense as she floated for a second until she felt the heat again. Saber burning eyes looming over her as she kicked Neuro, sending her flying toward the ground. She hit the ice, cracking it, bouncing off. The next time she landed, she didn't bounce, but began to slide, the ice screeching as she slid across it. She finally came to a stop in the roots of the Christmas tree just in front of Evelyn. Saber landed on the ground with a loud boom, melting the ice before it had time to shatter. With her trident in hand, she slowly started moving toward the sister. Evelyn raised her chin, a proud smile on her face. She closed her eyes. Finish the job. Saber pointed the trident toward them. Neuro closed her eyes, one last tear escaped her. The sickening sound of bone breaking rang accompanied by the sound of by the drop of blood hitting the ice. Neuro eyes snapped open, and she saw the sight of a lifetime. Saber was there, trident in her hand. Evelyn was in front of her, coughing, her rib pierced by the same trident. You, you, Evelyn whimpered out. How? The red glow inside Silver's eyes began to dissipate, revealing the violet color underneath. Just because your wings are black and your hair is gone doesn't mean I hate you any less. She thrusted the trident deeper until it exploded out her back. Evelyn snarled as she felt her wing tense out of sync. You think being hellborn will save you? An insane heat began to accumulate. I will scorch you alive! Saber felt the heat. It was too much even for her. She felt the skin on her hand blistering as this otherworldly flame began to tear her apart. Her posture almost shook, the trident burning her fingers. Yet just then, cold. The most intense winter wind coursed through the plaza, crystallizing the flame The flame in force before anything had a chance to ignite. Evelyn looked behind Server, only to see Neuro, the staff glowing brighter than it ever did for her. Yet there was someone else. Someone was rapidly approaching. She saw the face glowing like the sun. She saw Widow hair, the green eyes, and the hoodie. Then his fist came down like a meteor. Blood leaked out of her abdomen as Widow hand tore her skin and flesh apart. It went up into her chest cavity for the piece of muscle he huddled in the middle. Until he felt his hand wrap around the pulsating piece of muscle. He held it tight, feeling it pulsate for last time. Then, with a crunch, black blood burst out from her abdomen like a rotten tomato. It was almost like a bomb had been detonated. Widow put his hand out, covered in tar black from her blood. Thurber followed soon after as she pulled the trident out of her ribs. Evelyn's breathing became erratic, her wings stopped, and blood was leaking out her feather. Her eye quivered, not in rage, but fear. Then her body finally fell on the ground, wings furling behind her torso like a blanket. The crimson flame inside her eyes began to fade until even the fire inside her eyes went dark. Silver stumbled before collapsing on the ground, her weapon falling out of her grasp. Her skin almost seemed like crystal, as if it could be broken by being too loud. Silver! Widow rushed over to her. Silver huffed uncontrollably, fighting the pain of her frostbitten skin. Widow hadn't known what to do. That was until he saw Neuro's star began to brighten. He rotated his head, seeing some sort of magic being conjured. Her gaze was hard. Oh, no, 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 no. Widow threw himself in front of her. You can't do this to her. Neuro closed her eyes and sighed. Let me concentrate. Her words were different. Widow gulped, setting aside as the star began to blow by the Neuro hair began to dance to otherworldly current. He looked at Server and saw eyes on her belly, slowly receding as it evaporated. Her eyes were shaky, eager to see if his friend were fine. For a while, her body just stood there lying on the floor. There was no movement, no sign, nothing. Till Server took a deep breath, her chest rising as the air filled her lungs. Murder leaned over her. Server! His tone was one of awe. Her eyes opened, revealing her purple irises to the world. She looked around. The plaza was quieter than ever, and though the tree in the middle was still burning. Did we do it? Our time has run dry. Neural tone came resentful. Why is that? Dong. The bell of a distant clock tower rang. Then again. And again until it rang for a total of 12 times. It was now officially midnight, and with it the night of Christmas Eve became the morning of Christmas. Widow looked up. The sky still burned with an awful red, the air still reeked of coal, and the tree was still ablaze with hatred. Neuro's head dropped, a single tear escaping her eye. This wasn't Christmas. It was more like hell had come down to earth, or if it was just a cold day in the inferno. Neuro felt her grip on her staff falter. It felt heavier, and she felt unworthy of his loyalty. Then, footsteps. They looked at the direction of the sound, a small street leading to the plaza. A few figures, all varied height and stature, began walking toward them. They seemed to be carrying musical instruments. Children? Neuro spoke softly. What are they doing here? Let us explain. One of the boys, taller than the rest, stepped forward. We were supposed to do a celebration for Christmas, but we got lost after the mess. It's a mess, truly. Shouldn't you be at home then? Widow asked. We heard something from over here. He smirked, deciding to check and see if we could be of help. Boy, Widow tone was sarcastic. I'm sorry, but only a miracle can save us at this point. Yo, his head dropped along with all the altitude. I guess we should leave then. Oh! Everyone froze as they looked at the source. Nura stood, her mind racing. What is it? A miracle! Nura breath quickened. She started moving in circles, clicking her tongue. Murder scratched at her head. Christmas miracle, huh? Nura nodded rapidly. Noah scratched her nose, walking incessantly, trying to form an idea, until the brightest idea lit inside her head. Her body froze, then she coughed a few times, clearing her throat. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and started singing. She's singing Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The group seemed utterly confused by her action, yet Neuroface had the trust the process expression. She turned toward the kid. Do your children know how to play? They all nodded in unison, one of them playing the jingle from the intro. Nero raised her hand on my mark, and now they sing the song. Wow. On Good Tidings, bringing to you your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It was just for a moment, but the flame seemed to diminish. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding and a cup of good cheer. Nero pointed towards Server. Come on! Server stumbled before starting the next part. She cleared her throat, lending a soft voice too. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a happy new year. The flame struggled, its molten core withering away. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The fire almost fizzled out, but it was just not enough. Nero looked at Widow. We need your help. What? But I don't know the next line, Widow protested. Nero, in response, conjured a small cloud before throwing it toward Widow. Yes, you do. The cloud landed on her chest, manifesting the next line of the carol. Widow's strength went into overdrive until he took one big breath. Good tidings to you, whenever you are. Good tidings for Christmas and a happy new year. Some of the notes were off pitch, and he also had a voice crack or two. No, thought it was perfect. Come on, everybody, together. She gave her staff to Widow, which was glowing violently. What do I do with this thing? He screamed after her in a futile attempt, only for her to trail off instantly. Nero conjured the spell. A small cloud of ice began to shape. Its body narrowed and cracked took the shape of an F keyhole, and the body took the shape of a violin. With a bow made of ice, she started leading the orchestra. Oh, that keeps singing the Christmas song. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Widow almost felt the spirit of Christmas shut his soul. The sound grew brighter. The fire grew desperate. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. With a fish, a bright blue beam shot upward from the now normal tree, illuminating the sky and the building as it reached toward the cloud. It tore a gate through them. Quick, we need to complete it now. She rushed over to Widow, grabbing her staff. Guys, am I seeing this right? One of the girls shouted, Is she really an angel? Neuro didn't listen. She fainted over the evil horse. What? The black was falling underneath her. She raised her hands, with something in her ears. Then she picked her up, black wing banging dangling repeatedly as she carried her. Wait, why are you taking her? Widow shouted to the winds. Neuro stretched her wing, one of them still partially led from her blood to the high halls. It's best if she's there. I don't think it will. But don't you think it will be problematic? Widow objected. Nero sighed, closing her eyes. At the very least, I will have to make sure that being like her disturbs the world no more. Her wings stretched wide, ready to take off. With a sudden clap of her feather, she went into the air, propelling herself upward toward the left in the cloud. Every flap hurt the wound even more, yet she had to pursue, not just for her, but for everyone. She felt the air growing thin and cold. She felt the water vapor on her skin as she went into the cloud, and with a final flap, she disappeared from their view forever. Blinding flash exploded overhead, splitting the sky in two. Weather for a split second got a glimpse of the heaven. Then he instantly passed out. No, falling with large white lumps accumulating on the corner of buildings and on top of parked car. Weddle felt his face on the concrete, the hard surface on his eyes as he lay motionless, his hand pressed on the ground, pushing himself upward. He felt the snow sliding down his hoodie as he stood up. He saw the children, all huddled closer and sleeping on the ground on the side. It was sober, still drowsy but awakening for sure. Then he noticed the tree. The leaves were adorned by the white soft snow. The decoration on it were glowing faintly. He turned back to Silver. You good? Silver groaned like a kid who just woken up from school. I think so. She slowly stood up, letting the snow fall off the wrinkle of her coat. They heard scream, rapidly approaching from all directions. Hundreds of people were rushing into the plaza, most of them simply in awe of anything. Hey boy! A woman rushed over to a kid who was just awakening. Are you okay? God, you are so cold. The boy smiled instantly upon seeing her. I'm fine, Mom. We just seen her last night. It's all an angel, and those rang a Christmas miracle. Oh, my boy, she patted his head almost seriously. You and your little imagination. No, no, this must be a miracle. A man stepped outward toward the crowd. A true Christmas miracle. Where felt a bizarre sense of warmth, seeing the people happy. It was foreign, alien even, yet for some reason he liked it. All the evil got took out of him. Then an ear-screeching scream tore to the crowd. Snowball fight! A group of little kids began to absolutely rip into the adult with a mini snowball. Yet this time it wasn't just one-sided. Gentle chaos unfurled as people at all ages began to battle out. Cheers, laughter filled the plaza, and it became an absolute welcome of happiness. Snowball! Widow was a tad late to notice the group sneaking up on him, and Cherber, before he could say anything, he promptly ate the snowball to the face. Ah, Widow could barely get out before he knew kids running away with laughter. Come on now. Cerber dusted off the snow from Widow eyebrow. Is this really so bad? Widow looked around, the white blanket covering the soil, the overly excited cheers, the chaos. For once, it didn't hurt. Would be better if I had a nice cup of coffee right now. Nope. Cerber shook her head. Can't have you drinking that junk during Christmas. How about some eggnog? Not a fan. Widow blurted out. Then let me get me the ground and go for some hot cocoa. I know a place that makes them very good. She tilted her head, her arms meeting with each other. I'll pay for it too. Widow sighed. I guess I can say no to that. Widow leaned against the fence, watching the Christmas market working in full action. It looked less bad in the snow, but he still wasn't a huge fan of overly fancy souvenirs. He looked around, watching the people build snowmen and do snow angels. He chuckled, knowing how far they were from the real truth. A few minutes earlier, he had received a message from Medico, reassuring him that they were okay and that Camilla made a miraculous recovery. Wow. He could finally close his eyes and enjoy himself. Well, he turned around and saw Saba carrying two steaming cups. She quickly handed one to him. It was brown liquid, smelled distinctly of sugar and a pinch of cinnamon. There was a single piece of marshmallow on it. Yes. He took a big sip of the liquid, sending it down his throat. It was perfect, perfectly sweet, accompanied by a rich chocolatey flavor. He lowered his mug and resisted the urge to laugh. Server looked at him with suspicion. What? Nothing. Widow chuckled at Server, cute little mustache. Hey, Widow. Server spoke softly. I have one more thing. What is it? Well, she reached into her pocket, finger visible through the fabric. Second later, she came up with two candy bars still in the wrapper. One was a blue hazelnut, Widow's favorite. The other was a green pistachio. Server's favorite. Well, freak me. He reached for his hand, tempted to take the blue. Yet for some reason he felt like he had to take the green one. Hey, shouldn't have given Lee to choose. This is just plain ridiculous. Server tilted her head. Why that, Widow? Widow took a bite of pistachio bar. We are drinking something that is way too much of sugar, and we are pushing it down with chocolate candy bars, which, from what I know, have a fair bit of sugar. Well, you are complaining, Servo smiled. My teeth are. Weather smiled back. They stood like that for a moment, just enjoying the company and the falling snow. The wind was cold but not freezing. Weather could still feel neural touch in there somewhere. Weather, Servo spoke. Merry Christmas. Weather turned to sip a drink. You too, Servo. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, energy, and a Happy New Year for people like me who don't celebrate it. Note from Voila. The end.
Nice. That was a nice little read. I mean, not little. It took a
Yeah,
couple weeks, but it was good.
it was fun. So sad that you have to die for being too evil. Oh well.
Yeah, well, it was about to happen.
Oh, it's Bora joined. So, yeah. What part? The part that's your favorite, Bora? Yeah, the fire hand stuff. I see. Anyways, my voice is fully dead. I will just mute now.
Well, that was the last story, I think. I believe we are done for the day. Yeah, that's all. Shad, you are muted, but I don't know if you knew that. Or you're dealing with something. Thank you all so much for coming by. Thank you for joining us read along.
I see you're finished.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't here. I was dealing with a nosebleed. Anyways.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I guess we're done then. Sounded like you were saying thanks to everybody finishing up.
Thanks for coming. Alright, that was fun. Now I got to do some more readings for Mouse's little thing.
I thought you were gonna say school.
No, thankfully I'm done with that so far.
That's good.
Alright, well, see you guys. Thanks so much, and catch you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you for Left 4 Dead later.
Yes, you will. If we play.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
See ya.